Yo, beautiful people.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to wait. Yo, beautiful people, welcome to The Day After, the home of popular culture as defined by the actual culture. Imagine your favourite news channel, juiciest blog page, and funniest friend had a baby, but that's motherfucking us.
Okay.
We are hosted by the absolute best. Please introduce yourselves.
I am your host, 6 foot plus of pure temptation, Big Marsh on the east side of the bridge.
Okay. Happy Thursday, people. It is the Shade Queen, Mountain Royalty.
And your beautiful people is Big Koi defending your right to fuck it up. Simple.
Love it.
How is everyone?
I'm good. I think we've got a very interesting show ahead.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, man.
You're hungry.
Look at
Okay.
that. Well, how does that help me today, producer Brent? Does it help me this morning?
Heal, okay? We'll be good next week. Okay, we'll be good next week.
You all right? Everyone rested and ready for the day?
Not really, you know.
Why not? What? Talk to me.
I don't sleep that much. I haven't been sleeping that much this week. I don't know what's going on.
About it.
I fell asleep in the evening, yeah?
Really?
And then I woke up, because usually I do wake up before my alarm anyway, yeah? I woke up and I was thinking, how long have I got before I got to get up? Like, because I'm thinking that the day started. I looked at my clock. It said like
Midnight.
It said 9 o'clock.
Oh, stop it.
It said like 9 p.m.
So you had a nap?
I was like, oh shit.
Actually, do you know what's mad? I didn't set an alarm for today.
You just woke up?
Bro.
Have you got a problem?
My spirit woke me up because you could have been calling me and I would have been in bed. So I set an alarm for 5. So I set 3 alarms. 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45. 5:45 is when I get out of bed.
Yeah.
But I wake up before the last alarm, so I turn it off and I forgot to turn it back on.
Once you reach a certain age, your body just gets a natural alarm clock anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't need it.
So I woke up at 5:40.
Okay.
I said, well, look at that.
My body doesn't know about this rule.
No, it just wakes up like 5 o'clock in the morning every day.
But that's if you're a morning person though.
No, it's if you're old.
Yeah, really?
I'm not that old.
telling you,
I'm a
just
baby
after-
girl.
She said I reject this.
I'm a baby girl.
I promise to God, for no apparent reason, it just happens.
You're just up.
It just happens. Like,
You got bills, you got kids, you got things to do.
You got
Your
things
body
to think
says,
about.
Wake up
speak to somebody.
Wake up.
Ask someone who's been here.
for a long time.
Yeah. You just wake up, man. It's crazy.
That's so funny.
No, I don't know. I'm a morning person, but maybe I'm lying because this 5 a.m.
alarm
wake
clock.
up thing is, it's been a bit difficult, but we'll get through it.
I'm into that.
But yes, the last day or so, has been also quite heavy.
Mhm.
A lot of emotions. You know what I mean? I've gone through phases.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Esther?
I feel weird.
Okay. Margs? Hungry.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump straight into it. Not a deep side.
DJ.
Run that track.
Where's the DJ? Oh, stop it.
Okay, beautiful people, welcome to the morning after. This is where we're in a very strange situation. So this segment invites the subject of the conversation to answer our questions and we can get really honest. We didn't expect the first person on this segment will be somebody that's part of us, right?
Yeah.
So this is very personal, but we are going to treat it as seriously as we would treat it if it was somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think the first thing to do is to start with the factual breakdown because for some reason you always think everybody has the same information.
Yeah, they really don't.
But let me underline factual. So this is stuff that can be corroborated. Whew, English is wonderful today. It's a strong day. So let me start. On Tuesday morning, a community was established, right? And people were invited to it. The name of this community was called the Home Group. It was advocated as a safe space. You can see that in several different tweets where you can kind of just shoot off your shit. Throughout the day, multiple people were added. And the key thing is that it seems like the members of this group thought it was private.
Yeah.
But it wasn't private. And so it wasn't really even leaked. It was an open door. Anyone could access this information and screenshots were shared. This led to Twitter Spaces being created where 6,000 people plus were a part of it. I believe it was called the Rite of Passage,
Colorist Rite of Passage.
Colorist Rite of Passage.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. And people that were tweeted about in this group were a part of it, notably Oloni, who was a sex and relationship therapist and the author of The Big O, and Kelechi, who was an actress and the creator of Say Your Mind, and the owner of Kalechnikov Fitness Studio. Like I said, we have a member of our team who was involved. And that's Disu, who is an established podcaster and a current affairs he does current affairs commentary, and he will be joining in this conversation. But before we get to that, it impacted a lot of people, and so I just wanted to give us a free space to kind of just say what our reactions were. So
yeah, definitely.
Whoever wants to kick off, go ahead.
Should I get some of the tweets?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, we're going to get into the tweets.
Yes, get into
yeah.
the tweets.
I mean, you
okay.
can mention them. Like, say whatever you felt. Say whatever you came across.
I just thought it was wild. First, I thought it was dumb. Because I just think if you're on Beyonce's internet, what part of this is going to be private? Even I live in fear of DMs being leaked all day.
Yeah.
I live in fear of that.
What have you been doing?
Nothing, but you know that when you send a tweet and you comment and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just thought it was silly. It was dumb. It was a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
It was a dumb thing to create the group, the community, and think it was private, and then it ends up being public. And I think that the tweets that were within that community as well, those were just outright disgusting. It was just disgusting.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
I think the range of disgust was something that kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was multiple jobs going on. There was transphobia.
There was homophobia. There was all the everything.
For Black women.
Yeah, it was a lot of venom, a lot of hatred.
Yeah, it's actually quite upsetting when you actually sit down and think about it. And I think my thought was, we're right. Like, these sentiments exist in the hearts of guys everywhere.
I thought that because I think, obviously we saw like with Clubhouse, there was a rise of these conversations. I mean, the conversations that happen anyway, but with Clubhouse, there definitely was a rise, and the conversations are more frequent than what I remember them to be, which is a good thing because, I mean, clearly we needed to be more frequent. More frequent than we have already.
Yeah.
So I think for me, sometimes when these conversations are happening, some people don't understand why it's happening. They're like, oh, like, it's not that deep, or just get over it, or you guys you're making a big deal out of nothing, blah, blah, blah. It's always that kind of, some people have that kind of argument. But with this just showed me that you're right. Like the things that women talk about, black women talk about needing protection from, or wanting respect, or just wanting to be treated as human beings rather than just objects. You've proved that this group proved it right, because a lot of times as well, people bring up old tweets and stuff like that. We talked about that on Monday. Do you get me? Like, people bring up old tweets and whatever, and we talk about, giving graceful growth and all that kind of stuff. But it's crazy when this is the other day. This is 2022. Like, this is you doing it back in the day.
Yeah.
And then when you get called up for that, you're saying, I'm not like that anymore. I don't think like that anymore. But then you are like, maybe even worse.
The thing is that all it did was modify behaviour. It didn't actually change mindsets. And that's what I think black women have always said. And when they say it, they sound crazy. Like, you're just aggressive. Blah, blah, blah. But like, bro, like, people in that group, they don't live in a little section of the world where it's only men. They mix in with women. And if this is the thought you have in your mind, if this is okay in a part of your mind, that's a bit scary.
Sorry to cut you, yeah?
Go on.
Is it fair that everything just gets boiled up into the same things though?
What do you mean?
Because I understand like your gripes, and as black women, like, and all this like the rubbish that you go through on the internet, hearing people like being a butt of people's jokes and hearing the old tweets and stuff.
Yeah.
But then comparing all that to this is not the same thing, because them old tweets, you could see like the receipts of man chatting shit about dark-skinned women and rare, but that never happened this time around. They made references to women and they was just talking about the women. The women just happened to be black. And then now
I don't think the women happen to be black. I think that is...
Was it this? I haven't read all those things, but I haven't seen like saying, like black women this or dark-skinned women this. I just see them talking about women that are black.
Yeah, but that's why I say, I can't remember the point you made, but I think that people haven't changed. They're just better at hiding their feelings.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a happenstance that the women they were talking about happen to be black. I think that they just, even though they thought it was private, it's like something that's it's unsaid. Like you know who it is I'm talking about, because the women that were actually directly named within that, they were black. They're black women. And I don't think it's by chance.
No, but don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is those old tweets have a theme. It's always you could never catch me with a dark-skinned woman, dark-skinned woman, this, I'm saying that. And the stuff that's come up now, it was nothing like that. It was just passing their opinion on a person.
Yeah, but I think what it seemed like angered them the most about said person was the fact that these people are very pro-black women. Like it must be getting on their nerves. It must be irritating them.
Yeah, annoying them.
And my thing is, that is problematic. If you dislike somebody, if the reason why you're disliking somebody is because they're calling you out on ways to treat women better
better.
or black women better, and that's the source of your anger.
That's mad.
That's crazy.
That's can
wild.
we take a second? Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm saying it's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
no,
insane.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. You're right. It's not the same thing. Goes, I'll never. It's not. I didn't see something that said along the lines of, "Oh, fuck dark skinned girls. I like black." It wasn't that same kind of conversation. But it shows the different ways in which black women are attacked. We're attacked for just wanting better.
And I think it shows as well how they can carry out these attacks and verbally and whatever.
Yeah.
But without having to say exactly who it is for. Because even like there was tweets about Dwayne Wade's daughter. Like, I just don't think that. I just think it's because from the other tweets of like, you know, dark skin and when they actually say black women and dark skin and all that kind of stuff, I just feel like they're at a point now where they don't need to say it anymore. You know who this is for. You know who this is about. I genuinely believe that. Like, I don't believe that any of these tweets was about white women. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. And you're entitled to believe that. It's people's actions and behaviour over a certain period of time that's led you to believe that.
Yeah.
So that's what the problem is. Because whether it's true or not, that's how you feel,
That's what
innit?
that's
You
what
know
you
what I'm
presented me over the years. So that's what
So I'm not going to think on this particular Tuesday
that you
decided
actually
to-
now you're going for Hispanic women.
But right. But okay, cool. Is there anything
Sorry,
else? No. That was
that's fine.
that was good because also I think okay. So this is a bit weird, but that room was by some people in the room was called a safe space, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel like there's a truth to the fact that black men don't feel like they know how to talk on this topic without receiving. Do you know what I mean? Is it hard for you
They're
to
getting
talk? Let
backlash.
me even ask you: do you find it hard to talk on black women topics? Do you feel like you just rather sit back? Do you feel like you're heard?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't want to place. I ain't gonna know how to speak. Speak about black women. You lost your mind. My skin ain't even dark enough.
And people think you're mixed race half the time.
Yeah, people think I got Caucasian blood in me. So
He said, let me not start the show.
It is not
said,
my
you
place.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like
To
wisdom
do-
still.
to
but-
do
And
none
you
of
know,
that
that
stuff.
is wise, and that's why I had a problem. I think I've mentioned him before already, but I don't want to mention him again because, you know.
But you know
it's
what?
so
Sorry to
special,
cut you again here, but it's like it's right.
Not
I
him
don't
speaking
feel.
of a black woman.
No, but I don't feel confident enough for a thing to like really, really pass my opinion because there's things that I see that I don't like. Obviously, like speaking to you and you explaining it and you hearing it in real time is different. So when you say how you feel, I've got nothing to say back to that.
Yeah.
I'm not a
This is
woman.
how I
I'm not a
feel.
black woman. This is how you feel. That's how you feel. We can't
Yeah.
argue that. But I can still see things and not like it because narratives are important. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So the first thing that I saw with all this stuff was like, how can like grown men making up a space to chat shit about black women is weird. So I saw that and I thought, right, well, yeah, that is weird. What's going on? And then I saw the space and it's like, these men are just being idiots, they're just a bunch of clowns getting their shit off. Like it didn't look like this space was created to chat shit about black women. It's just like everybody got caught in the crossfire. There was, like you said, trans, homophobia, like everything was in there. But narratives are important. But the way it got presented to me was that this group got created to
Specifically.
I can't say the word.
Specifically.
Specifically.
That's semantics. That's semantics, right? Because again, as they said, Aloni and Kelechi were insulted and threatened in that particular group.
That's cool, fine, but it's narratives and knowledge is power. For someone like me who don't know nothing, that's the way. Once it gets said like that and you accept it like that, that's what you think. So then you pass judgments and you pass opinions on people. That's not true, and all this stuff is important, regardless of whether it's pedantics or not. Like, because context of things is important.
Yeah.
So if you deliver a message to me as a certain way and I take it in for what it is, and then I give back that energy for what I think, but then it's not true, then what?
So are you saying it's less malicious because everybody got it in that group? Are you saying because it wasn't just one particular group of people?
It's not necessarily less malicious because what it was done, it was bad. What I'm trying to say is the narrative, the way it gets presented to me, I think is important.
How was it presented to you? I
I just told you a bunch of guys made a group made a group purely just to diss black women.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seems that that's what I received as well, in terms of it's a group where these guys thought like they were safe.
Yeah, to just
And in that safe space, what they did was just shoot it off on everybody, in really malicious ways and in ways that I think if people were looking, they definitely wouldn't have done. And I think what's key, my key takeaway from
But that's
that
why they created it.
That's what I'm saying.
They thought people weren't looking.
Exactly, but then my key takeaway from that is all the we stand with black women, because there's a shift, a cultural shift, where people are like, let's not fight black women anymore. They made a lot of noise. Let's put them in our rap songs. Let's get them in our music videos. Let's celebrate them. Let's talk about them. You're doing that outwardly. I would have assumed that the reason why you're doing that outwardly was because there was a genuine shift internally in your mindset. Now it's safer for black women. But if you're saying that there's two sides to you, which, you know, some could argue there's two sides to all of us, but you can do this outwardly, but inwardly there's still this kind of poison.
That's scary.
That's scary.
That's scary to me.
And I think women have a right to be scared. I think there's a lot of healing that needs to happen in between all of us. And this was a step back.
Yeah.
And I think, so Esther, do you want to
I was going to say that even when it comes to, there's definitely a lot of healing that needs to happen. And I get why, even when it's something that might not seem that deep, I get why some women's reaction to it is maybe deeper than another woman's. Yeah. Because I think that what we don't understand is, yes, there are screenshots of like, you know, tweets that from years ago and whatever. Yeah, but not even these tweets. I mean like screenshots from like years ago and whatever. And people might see them and think, okay, yeah, but that was years ago. But someone at some point saw that and that they saw those kind of things in their formative years. And they probably developed insecurities and stuff that they've lived with. Yeah. And it's like 10, however many years later, I'm still essentially living with that. Yeah. So it really and truly, these kind of things, it triggers people in very different ways. Yeah. Do you mean the levels of triggers is different for everyone?
I know we're going to go into this because we just want to be like across it properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there was a tweet that said, what is your ick?
Don't even.
When women say, when she says
no. What's a major red flag for you?
Yeah.
And he said, when she says no.
Okay, so cool. A lot of people have dark humor. Whatever however you want to paint that. That mentality being in somebody, you can understand that that's a seed. Like that's a almost like it's a entertaining of it. Like I don't know how to describe it. I personally feel like
I think to even honestly.
Because you understand that's the mentality. Okay, do you know what? This is my point. That's the mentality that abusers actually have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that is for you. You're gonna say that it was a joke. You're gonna say that it was a There's a commonality. You that was saying it as a joke. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know this person or anything like that. Yeah. But I'm gonna assume that they would say this was just like a joke with my boys.
Yeah, of course, they would say that. But
I didn't mean it or whatever. Yeah. But then somebody else across the planet somewhere, that is how they genuinely think.
Sorry, you know what the problem is, yeah? We don't have real conversations, man. I tell people all the time, men and women, we're so different and we don't really know what each other think. And all this stuff online and people do all this crap, like they just talk at each other and just give off their opinions. But we don't really have real conversations. We don't know how each other's think. You know what I'm trying to say? That I wasn't aware of how serious this issue was until like I came in and it affected me and I realised people was involved. When I saw that stuff, I was just desensitized to it. I was like, oh, what? Yeah. They're just going at it again. Every day I come in there, men versus women, black versus white, dark skin versus light skin, and just sees the thing. It's like, oh, what they going at now? Like, what they doing again? Oh, whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That, and it's like, I don't want to sit here and like be performative. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That because the stuff that you're saying is true, yeah, but good, bad, or indifferent, like whether it's wrong or right, yeah. In real life, like things like that are going on like that. Like it's bad because you've seen it. What people don't know don't hurt you. Like whether you're saying like that seed might be in you as an abuser or aggressor, but it was a joke. Like if someone said that to me, I might not, whether it's distasteful or whether it's my kind of sense of humor or not, that's not sending a red flag in my head. Like jokes is jokes. Like, and people say all kinds of inappropriate jokes in their spare time.
And I hear what you're saying. And I don't think somebody should go to prison for a joke. What I'm trying to say is that somebody who's listening to that is the same mentality that their abuser had. So they have the right to be disgusted.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
If they see it, that's all I'm saying. Like when we're trying to say, oh, it's a joke, why are people so upset? I'm giving you the answer as to why some people are really upset.
Because we've seen it. It's like what you're saying, yeah.
But you know,
we've seen it now.
I think though that even seeing something, I think that as a woman, like with women in general in the world, there's a lot that women have to consider that men don't have to think about. Yeah. And then as black women anyway as well, there's more stuff that we have to consider that maybe even other women don't have to think about. So as much as this could be a joke and something light, the reason why someone else would look at it, why a guy, not even someone else, why a man would look at it and just think, oh, he's just joking about, like he's serious, blah, blah, is because your experience is very different to a woman. For me, this is mad. Like, this is never something to joke about.
This is why we need to have conversations.
Yeah, because this is never something to joke about.
Sorry, Marks. We talked about, off air, the Jimmy Savile interview or the documentary. I think you guys... Yeah. And he made a lot of jokes over his lifetime, on camera, off camera, right?
He said very commonly, I'm going to court on Thursday for like some... Do you know what I mean? Like it was a running joke. Like I'm always in trouble with women. I'm going to court on Thursday. Something along those lines. Yeah. And then when obviously they found out that he was a paedophile, you could see at several points in his career, like through the years, he said this exact same line.
So straight in front of the camera, he had been joking about his indecencies, his crimes, and everybody laughed. right? Everybody laughed. So two things can be true. It can be a joke, but it could also be traces of what you're actually capable of.
A reflection of
That's
your,
true.
of your reality.
Many a truth is said in jest. We know these things.
But I think it's really important what you're saying, because there's an element of not wanting to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Should every guy that says a joke, whatever. But my thing is that if I was to ask the women in this room, how many of us have been touched or approached without our consent? Do you know what I mean? Whether it's something as shallow as somebody touching your bum. When I say shallow, when I talk about, if I was to ask the women, please feel free to not participate. But if I was to ask you to put your hands up if a man has touched you without your consent,
absolutely,
absolutely,
I've been groped.
So listen to this. That tweet, that joke, that ick of no, that
red flag,
and no, it's so common.
I know, but that's where that's like I said. It's just I think the only thing that
you
can
thought
fix
it was commentary.
the only thing that can fix these things is conversations. Because even though they're not comparable, it's not the same thing. If you said, "Oh, I've asked every man in this room how many times who's made it as extremely inappropriate joke before," it's the same kind of thing. The problem is because what's done in the dark has come into the light. So because we've seen what's going on, we have to address it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, but what conversation is there to have about stuff like this?
The thing is that
I honestly think, I think just between men and women, we just have to have like an open dialogue. And it's not even necessarily referring back to stuff like this or the case. I just mean just us as humans and that, because we're always just on different wavelengths.
I'll be honest,
Can I quickly say something before you say that? You know that joke, if in real life that wasn't something that was commonly experienced by women, if in real life when women said no, or if in real life when men listened, that joke would run as a joke. Because do you know what I mean? It would be like, oh, I can understand, I can understand it from a distant point of view.
I can understand
it's too close to home for too many women.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Do I understand that this person was making a joke, and for that, I don't know who this person is, but if it was a joke, it's a joke. You know what I mean? But you need to understand, there's a reason why you said it in a room you thought was private, because you knew it cut too close.
Because if it was a joke and you can stand in the truth of this is a joke, why did you need a private space to be able to say that? Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I think...
Look at the other jokes, quote unquote
jokes.
We're
going to get...
I'm going to get that, but can I also just say that...
People break the law every day. When they get caught, they go to court and they get punished. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, there's not even like excuses to make it. It could be jokes, it could be whatever. You've been caught. It's done. You just have to hold your
I need to, before I read other tweets, I just want to talk about the conversation thing that needs to happen, I'll be honest, I'm a woman who, first of all, I'm a black person who doesn't wish to educate anybody on like racism and stuff like that. Because I think that you're able to learn any other thing in the world that you want to learn about. But when it comes to a social issue, all of a sudden now you need someone who goes through that to teach you. I'm not here for that. I'm definitely not here as a black woman to teach black men how it is that they should treat black women, because you should be treating human beings with in a decent manner anyway.
I would even expect
I can't lie to you,
treatment
mate,
from a black man.
I can't lie to you. I'm not really for that. We need to have conversations, because we know the world we live in. There's so many things that, like, time evolves, and ideally, in our ideal world, so should our minds, and so should everything else that we do. You can learn, like, even if you're not actively seeking out learning, you see conversations online and stuff like that. You can do that, or you have people, honest, or you have people in your life that you can have the conversations with. Like, I'm not the black. And I don't know if people are going to be upset about this or not. I really genuinely don't care. I'm not here to be a teacher. I'm not here to be an educator to educate you on why it is that a joke like this isn't regardless of me even being triggered by this, or the fact that I've had bad experiences with guys anyway, like in terms of indecent touching and whatever. Besides that, I just think in the climate that we live in, and the fact that this is some people's reality, there is a duty of care. Like, I know that obviously with social media, people just want to say whatever they want to say and do whatever they want to do. Fair enough. But I find it weird that when people tweet certain things, they don't think of the fact that someone on your timeline, this may be their reality. So while you're just making a joke, why you think this is a joke, be sensitive to the fact that this is probably someone's reality. And this is probably a black woman's reality in your life who doesn't talk about sexual stuff. Black women don't openly talk about how it is that they've been like touched and all that kind of stuff.
I don't agree with that. You guys haven't had women in your lives that tell you about their experiences with men when men have overstepped. You don't have any women that have told you that.
Wait, what part don't you agree with?
I mean,
like, sorry, as in like when you just said something along the lines of that maybe women don't articulate this. I would say that this was a good point in like 2012 or some shit. But like
it's still reality, trust me, it's still reality.
No, I'm not talking about women. I'm saying that even if those women don't talk, because you're right, it's a mad difficult. There's club rooms. There are club room pilgrimages. There are Twitter spaces. There are so many forums, where we're even criticized for talking too much. Why is it always on this topic? So I'm not talking about these women. These women don't have every right to not talk about their experiences. But I feel like there are people that are willing to do it for them. Like,
it depends what kind of conversations you're having. It's weird because I don't have those kind of deep conversations with everybody. But when you do talk to people and then you find out how common certain things are, because like I've said, I haven't had those kind of conversations with everyone, but a lot of women that I have had those conversations with, they nearly all of that, like a lot of them have felt like they've been like, have gone through like some form of abuse or something in their life, like from men. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and like you wouldn't think it was like so common because like, well, for me, I wouldn't, because my brain don't work like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I wouldn't think this stuff's just going on and man are just doing all this kind of stuff. But when you talk to people, you've realised like it is pretty common. So I can't understand why things like that are triggering to women. You get me? But then we're not looking at it from that point of view. And this is what I tried to say with conversations where you don't understand us, because we're not honest. And I can't even speak for women. I'm speaking for men. We're not really honest with ourselves and with you lot. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, so the image and the picture that's depicted of us ain't even really true to a certain extent. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's why the lines gets blurred and all that and stuff like that.
So can you explain that a little bit more?
I mean,
I understand that you're not honest. I've always felt like men find it hard to talk to women. I've always felt that.
It's not like to say everybody's just innate liars, but like it's not like we're just drinking from the truth serum and we just, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, and we just no one's like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have to pick and choose, but obviously everybody wants to portray themselves in a certain way. Everybody, like, women's got their plights that they go through, and men have their own ones too in society. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, we need to be seen a certain way. We need to carry ourselves a certain way, and a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, and we don't. Like I said, I just always like when lines get blurred and like things like this happen. It's just always mad how we're just always on such different pages. And like I said, I know you're saying you're not here to teach anybody anything, but I just always felt like knowledge is power, and I just feel like maybe that's the only thing that could actually fix it if we just start having like honest, open dialogue.
So what do you know is I think in the world anyway, we all have like different talents and different skills and whatever, and it makes the world work the way it does. While I don't want to take on the role of educating anybody about anything, there's women who don't mind doing that. And also there are, like you mentioned, like there's resources out there where women do speak about these things. And I think also as well, knowledge is power, but if you really want to know something about something, you can find out how to find that. You can find out you can find out the information you want to find. Yeah. So while there's argument of there are conversations to be had and men don't understand these things, and of course I get it because we have very different life experiences, but I think that in the time that we live in, the world is evolving. Minds need to evolve as well. Yeah. And minds can't evolve without me having to sit down. And when I say me, as in without the group that are feeling hurt or feeling however they're feeling, being the ones to have to be the teachers. There's so much stuff that you can read about out there.
This is why we have to have the conversation, because it's not even about comparing things, but it's not one-sided. It's like what you said, for the fact that they had to make a group feel like they.
But look what you do with a group, though.
That's true. Yeah,
look what you do with a group.
I can't even stand up. I'm trying to just.
No, this is important.
I get it. But do you know what it is though? My thing is, when black men are speaking about needing a safe space and stuff like that, it's about for mental health, because the suicide
they killed us, man. We're not allowed no space, there's nothing. We're not allowed no space.
No, but you know what? Yeah, for when mental men, the ones in the community were mental.
Mental men,
mental,
like the way that they be mental.
When it's a different type of.
That's the title. 100%.
When
men, you got to put me off again. When men have spoken about needing a safe space, it's to do with mental health, because suicide rates among black men is terrible, right? Yeah. My thing is then.
Is this what you're going to do with your safe space?
This is what you're going to do.
It's so ugly.
With the safe space that you actually created. Like,
I want to... Man. Oh, yeah. So we're going to do that. Yeah. So what we're going to do now... I'm going to throw this over to Esther, but you already know, like I said, this is the morning after. And what's unique about this segment is that we invite somebody who's been involved in the situation we're talking about. Yeah. So...
Yeah, so we've got Disu with us. I think, and I'm glad that the show has started when this happened, because I feel like it's good that you're able to sit with us and talk about it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that we're able to have this conversation. And like Koi said earlier, like we're having this conversation as if it wasn't you. Like, do you get me? Like if this was someone else, and how we did Mark Cuban on Monday.
Yeah.
Do you get me? It's that kind of energy. So I'm glad that you're here to kind of let us know, because it's unfortunate, but you have become the face of the campaign, and we're gonna kind of get into that as well. But yeah.
So in terms of like, you lot broke it down very well, and there's a lot of interesting stuff you said that I want to kind of get into, but I'll start off with the gist of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you said is accurate about the room. So I'll tell you how it happened on said day.
Yeah.
So obviously we do TDA early morning. Do you know what I mean? So like, even recently, I'm not on Twitter that much.
Yeah.
And doing TDA is just throw my whole balance because it's early. Do you know what I mean? So even then,
hungry.
Yeah. So boom. So the person who created said group is actually a friend of mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he DMs me the link to the group.
Yeah.
I don't know how the invites work. He just DM'd me the link to the group, innit?
Yeah.
So I saw the name. I was like, all right, cool. I clicked it. Obviously, when it's your people, then you have a certain level of trust. You get it? Clicked it, and I saw like only like a few man.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is like my Darby dog, close friend. Another one's a guy I know pretty well, and then I think two other gentlemen were the friends of the person who created the group.
Okay,
right, cool. So I thought, okay, cool. This is gonna be like a close friends on Insta, a green circle vibe.
Yeah.
Where maybe we might like, a girl's better jarring, or like the things you do on close friends, like you talk of things, and then maybe like I'm gonna keep it 100. Like sometimes you laugh at people. Like we've all done
do that in the DM.
Yeah, we all
want mine to leak.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's why nobody wants to DSA get leaked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just like light-hearted stuff. Do you get it? So that's what I thought the vibes was. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I finished TDA. I'm running errands, doing up houseboy. Go home. I had to catch a young nap. You know what I mean? Wake up now, and then I'm going on Twitter. And bear in mind, the whole day I'm in and out of Twitter. Really, not really in it too tough because I'm tired. And I still had to do some TDA stuff before I go kickball later. I want to kickball to avoid Man United Liverpool. So boom, come back in the group now. I'm seeing 48 man. I'm like,
this is grown.
This is, first of all, I'm a private. And I'm scrolling, and I did a quick scroll through, seeing bare funny man names.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them funny?
Like, I've seen your tweets. So funny man in different categories. I've seen some things I feel like you're just cornballs. You know what I mean? Like, you're always in like, when it comes to scandals on Twitter, I do my utmost. 99% of the time, you'll not see me tweeting about it. If you see me tweet, I always tweet J's for jobless, because I feel like it's not everyday scandal entertaining it. Do you know what I mean? I like to tweet about my sports, politics. I left all that discussion topics thing years ago. Do you know what I mean? So I see a couple man who just always in a mix up, always tweeting, and a couple man that I just find generally weird. Like I just feel like they're weird. And I saw like some like fake pages. So instantly I'm thinking, I said to my brother, like, yo, bro, like, why is there hella? Do you know what I mean? Like, and because that person knows I'm very picky of who I'm with in terms of group chats. Like,
who you
know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people add me to group chat, I'll leave. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So group chats I mean are my people then. Do you know what I mean? Because I made up my mind instantly that I'm not gonna say anything personal about, like, let's say my friends or not my friends, but like my relationship status or anything. Do you know what I mean? Anything you put in close friends, I'm gonna put in here.
Yeah.
Like, that's personal to me. And I thought, and this is where big mess up on my part is that I knew that this group doesn't seem right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the short, because I wasn't in that group too tough.
Yeah.
But in the short scroll I did, the energy I got were excited to get shit off. Do you get it? Like, and a lot of stuff that's been brought out is all stuff I've learned like after the fact.
Okay.
So for example, like the title, it being a safe space, I didn't even know that. Me, I just clicked. Do you know what I mean? Everybody knows me. Give me something. Tell me what I have to do with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm very blunt and direct. Tell me what I have to do and I'll do it. I don't have time to be reading bare blurb. I didn't even know it was that. That's corny. Do you know what I mean? Because, and one of my best friends, a woman, I used to say woman as context, because she's like, Ayo, I've been in a community that's got 3,000 girls, and all we talked about is like date night, maybe sex. Obviously we dabble in man talk, but it's nothing too heavy. That's been going on for like a week or two now. Even me, I'm in another group and it's relegated to a football podcast. I've been in it, but I don't really go in it because I don't have time like that. She goes, they gave you man created a group, and in 22 hours we've seen just scumbaggery.
You've seen 2012 Twitter.
Like and that's the energy that I got, because it seemed like, so one of the tweets, like some of the tweets I saw is like, I think that some of the people just joined, and it was like the energy that I got. Like, I'm very observant people. I'm very analytical. So when I scroll Twitter, I'm always looking at from that type of macro and the energy I got was that, I'm not sure if I even said anyone did this thing, but these man are like, it's like they're excited, and it's like, I've joined this, I've seen the type of temperature, so I'm gonna match it. And to me, that's just mad corny in general. Like, that level of energy to me is corny in general.
Who do you feel set the temperature?
I was gonna ask,
I honestly don't know, because I haven't seen the tweets from the jump. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, but it was like 2012, 2010 Twitter.
Yeah.
But it is way worse, because in that instance, people were a lot younger, and the context of humanity was not the same as it is today.
It was different. Yeah.
So if you're doing them things, and how I learned it is, even like, for example, like, I've been on Twitter for a minute. I've been on social media. I'm 32 years old, and I've been able to learn even from Twitter, from speaking to my friends privately, from reading girls' tweets that I might not even like their takes or the way they go about it. But I've learned so much, and it's impacted me and my perspective, because I'm a very logic, reason person. So some of the topics that I've seen come up, like, for example, I'll give a topic like from many a year ago, when women will talk about their hair.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking, it's just hair. Like, that's my initial reaction, it's just hair. Like, it's just hair. Like, how could somebody copy your hairstyle and be a bad thing? Until a couple of my brethren had to come and give me the gist, and they're like, yo, because when we do this, we've been mocked, we've been said it's not attractive. But now, when white Europeans are doing it, or white Americans are doing it, it's a trend.
Yeah.
But if I was to drop it to the workplace, I'm getting rubbed out.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You get, so now I understand it. So, like, being on social media, and if you are, in my opinion, if you're a half decent person, certain things will make you uncomfortable viewing. Do you know what I mean? Because now you've seen the impact it has on people. And that's why I think, if people who are online, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, when Mark was talking about like having general conversations, Mark's like, because you're always in the real world. Like, these men are on Twitter all the time, so they know the temperature. Yeah. So when you talk about a lack of education, I have that same energy when I'm thinking about racism. You man know the vibes now. Yeah. So I'm not educating you. You're just violating.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of the man in that they've been on Twitter they know the temperature. You know. Hence why, like, so a lot of information I'm getting from my people, and they're saying, people are saying, yo, this is the start of the resistance. Resistance against what? Effectively, you're saying you're resisting being G-checked for being misogynistic.
And Marks, that's what I was saying. That the anger was towards the correction of behaviour towards black. That, you know, when you say that they weren't going for black women, they were going for black women advocates. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? They were like, let's punch these two down because it will have
an impact. Because they all follow these two,
right?
So if we can get these two down, then we break down everyone else. That kind of mindset.
So like, obviously there's and my screen time. If there was a way I found I could show you my screen time, it wasn't that high then. But I'm pretty sure that there was definitely men in that group who probably came into the group under the same pretenses as me. Oh, just the people that man them, and I probably didn't say anything. Do you know what I mean? Or probably didn't do anything. My part was that I laughed at a tweet of video of a lady dancing, and that was in reference to somebody making light of how she was dancing. Yeah, and it was just shady. It's not really I didn't have to do it. So it was mean. Do you know? Yeah. So when Street was cooking me, I was like, man, I have to hold that. You get me? Because nobody sent me there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, in terms of like what was in that group was totally abhorrent. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And naturally, me being in there, and I fully understand it. So, because my brother was like, yo, why were you there? I told him, okay, they all, because even like, I'm talking about my brethrens, like my boyfriends, my male friends, my male friends were like this, you like,
what were you doing in there?
Because they've seen it, the aftermath, and they've seen some of the man that they know that we don't respect or we don't rate. Like,
and why don't you?
And you know what is?
Because some man, see, I think there's a key. So obviously, I want to use this as an opportunity I like to educate and inform people. Yeah. Men and women are different in the way we operate, right? Yeah. Women are more than happy to speak vocally in public. Men were less likely to talk on our own trauma, our own issues, or whatever. But like, for example, so some man, I've heard some stuff about certain man, and it's just, and even some of my man telling me that, yo, Disu, do you know this person? Like, there was one tweeter, I've never seen his at or anything, yeah? And it happened to be a person that in 2011 or 2010, when I first had Twitter, because one of my boys was this guy was getting onto one girl, right? Mm-hmm. One of my boys, that's his Darby. So he's like, yo, stay calm type of thing. And then he threatened to stab my boy. And obviously this is 2009. And you know, like I'm around 19. So growing up in London, like that, when somebody says that, our experience, we're new to social media. Yeah. That means he meant life, that. Yeah. So me and my other brother were like, stab who and live where type of thing. So that was the energy we had to. Then we found out this guy, he was just saying that he's a funny man. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we never respected him. Do you know what I mean? So people like that were in there. And then we're hearing, so my boy telling me yesterday that, yo, do you know this man hits his woman? Do you know this man does this? And these are the people in the group. And I was just furious. Furious because I could take my slap. I didn't have to laugh at Shorty. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. She wants to take me for the rest of her life. Even that energy, I respect it. Do you know what I mean? I respect it. Yeah. But I'm annoyed at myself because I knew it was off ski when I was in there. But at the time, because I was so warped up in, I just mentioned that I want to go and do this. I think I might have been just chilling. I was like, let me just watch Netflix, and I got to start typing up notes for TDA for the next day, and I got to get ready for football. I just thought, this is a community I'm just not going to open. Do you know what I mean? Then there's group chats that you're in, that you're not in. Like I got a couple of group chats I'm in, I've just archived them, I ain't got time. Yeah. But really and truly, I should have left the group. And I think where I have to take accountability is that if I'm local, even though I didn't see I saw some misogynistic stuff, but some of the mad stuff, I haven't even seen it. Okay. But still, if you're local, like you're being complicit, because if I would like to look at things from my perspective, I would try to bring it back if it was me. If one of my dogs was in a group and they were saying so much crazy stuff about black people, and this is one of my white brethren, well, I only have one, and it was my white brethren, I would look at him some type of way. Yeah. Because my instant question is that, why do they feel comfortable to say that around you? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I understand that. But really and truly, a lot of these men, I don't even know a lot of these men. Do you get it? Mm. And that, it was just mad. It was just mad. Like, it was mad. And then obviously there was the whole fallout afterwards. So obviously this is happening. I'm seeing it. I'm hearing about it. I'm like, this is crazy. But usually my thing is I don't like scandal. I don't like wahala. Yeah. I'm not in there talking about stuff like, I just kind of let things cook. So I was like, anyway, I got football, got kickball. Come back, I'm hearing there's a Spaces is going off.
Did you join the Spaces?
No. I've been in like 3 spaces in my life. Okay. Like that I've spoken in, do you get me? And I've joined like maybe 1 or 2 that were like battle rap or football related. Like I'm not really in.
Why do you think you became the key name?
I think one, because obviously I laughed at I did laughing emojis on that girl. So obviously that's how I think, maybe that's how the energy started. I don't know.
Was that the only thing you did in the group?
Yeah. Like those things are not funny to me. And I know there's people said like, I want to be trill. I don't mind a mean joke. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind dark humor. But that's a lot of that stuff is not humor.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on, my guy.
Do you feel like, because I want to see where your head's at. Do you feel like you've done wrong, or do you feel like you made a mistake?
I feel like I made a mistake. And I feel like I could do better. Like I'm not gonna come and cap and feel like I'm transphobic, I'm this and that when I'm not, bro. Do you get it? Like I'm not gonna do that. But where I made a mistake was I should have left the group. I shouldn't have laughed at Shorty. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where I messed up. But you done wrong. You never made a mistake because you stayed in the group in all that stuff. Like you're sensible. I'm hearing you talk. Everything that you saw, you knew was wrong. You were still there, yeah. And we have to. I don't want to just put things on you, but I'm gonna assume, yeah, that if this all never blew up, you'd still be in the group now. Yeah, no, okay. Do you know what? That's true.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because as I said I'll just left that group that I probably would have entered it. Do you know
so
what I mean? You're
culpable to a lot, and it's just like enabling all that energy that you're claiming you don't stand for. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's not like. That's not a mistake, because making a mistake means, all right, yeah, I got caught and I messed up. Like, but you like, even though you didn't understand in the beginning, now we've got hindsight, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm not trying to sit here all high and mighty, because I could have been in the group. Do you feel me?
Yeah, no.
But now everything's happened and we've got hindsight. You have to look back and see that I was wrong.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Because that's what I was gonna say to you as well. Like, do you understand why it is that you're getting as much backlash as it is, because for me, looking at it, it's about even what you said in that it's the company that you were amongst.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because some of these people, I had them blocked. Like, as I was going through the list of people that was in there, some of these guys are blocked anyway. And I can't remember why I blocked them, but I know it's not because you're a sensible human being. But like, so some of these people are blocked anyway. So I think, do you understand why it is that you're getting as much backlash as you are? Because also it's alleged that you had mad tweets back in the day. Do you get what I mean? So I think some people, and I don't believe you've had mad tweets recently.
Yeah.
So people saw it as like you've quote unquote rebranded, right? So then when they then see you in that mix, they're thinking, so you just rebranded for the outside world for the things that you got going on, your work, your career, but the first chance you get, that's still in you. Like kind of how we spoke about earlier, where it's people it's performances where people are just better at hiding it now. So I think, do you understand that that's why you're getting...
I understand that. I think that's part of it, and also part of it because of what people said, and some of the things people said are completely untrue. But that's where my issue, where I allowed, by my wrongdoing...
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought, no, I'm going to kick it back.
Oh, no, I was looking at my
But by my wrongdoing, it enabled people to have opportunity. So, for example, in a clubhouse, like, even today, I just learned today, I was told before we recorded that somebody said that I was in Clubhouse saying I hate dark-skinned black women, right?
Okay.
Obviously, so if you hear this in a Twitter space, you said what, like 5,000-6,000 people in there?
Yeah.
Naturally, you're going to think, is this guy crazy?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? First of all, I've never said that.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not true at all. And I don't want to be insulting, but like, if I said on Clubhouse, I hate dark-skinned black women, that day, my singlet would have been put in the shredder. Do you know what I mean? Because people ain't standing for that. Especially somebody who is somewhat visible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that type of stuff where people are fabricating things, and that's a fabrication. It's not a misstep or a misquote, because there was nothing like that. I had Clubhouse very briefly, and I even emailed them to delete my thing. It was like the rooms I was in was the ones I created, and I called them Biscuit and Vibes. And the ring was, we're gonna come during a work day and just talk jazz. We're not gonna talk on heavy topics. We're just coming here just to vibe. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't even really on Clubhouse like that. And then that was before Clubhouse became Clubhouse, because initially it was an invite only thing.
Okay,
yeah. And then when it got bigger, that's when we saw a lot of the rooms where people are addressing some real life stuff. But by then, I've already been gone. Do you know what I mean? So there's no way on this God's green earth me can say I hate dark-skinned black women on Clubhouse, and I have not been getting shredded, barbecued from that very day up to this day.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
So I think one thing that came up, other than the fact that, I think the one thing that came up for me was, for a long time, there's this conversation of how we're going to know if our guy is spooky, how we're going to know if our guy is weird. But I would say...
like within male friendship
groups. Yeah, within male friendship groups. When we say, yo, guys, hold your boys accountable, do you know what I mean? All I always hear back is how we're going to know what they're on in the dark. But I feel like a lot of what you said and a lot of what I saw in that room is that you know when your friends are booky, when they're weird, they're cornballs. I'm not saying...
they're your friends.
I'm not saying... Yeah, I'm not saying they're your friend. I don't know how you're associated with every single person in that room, but I feel like I can't really take on that comeback anymore, because I do feel like as people, as black people, we're hyper aware, I feel like, of our environments, and I think
I agree.
Okay.
And a lot of the thing is like, and I think a lot of the vitriol against me is because when women were first articulating themselves, me being Mr. Debater, me being thinking I know quite a lot, I'm kind of having a discussion. And I know because I have somewhat of a platform, I'm a good articulator, a lot of man ain't gonna talk on this stuff. So I'm thinking, no, I don't think it's like that. So I'm referring to the black men, black women thing. Do you get it? Do you know what I mean? So, and I'm thinking logically, I've been told by so many girls I've dated in my life, I think too logically. I'm thinking, how can you think too logically? That doesn't sound make sense. But that's one of the errors I made in my earlier discourse of this topic. Luckily for me, I have people in my life that will give me the gist, and also I'm a listener. That's how I learn a lot of things, because I actually listen to what people have to say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I engage in debates and I'll learn. And if you're spitting, I'm not gonna double down. I'm one of them people. I will say, oh shit, do you know what? Fair enough. Oh, that's true. Like what Mark said, what Mark said, do you know what? That's accurate. Man can't. Do you know what I mean? So with that, I used to think that.
Yeah.
But it's not true, because I've seen evidence of it over the years.
That people are aware.
Yeah. So for example, and that's another thing I said earlier, that men because of how we are, like, we don't always vocalize some of the things we've done. Do you know what I mean? But I can't speak on that. Let me speak on myself because, do you know what I mean? For example, I have a football podcast, right?
Yeah.
And then once a brother that was involved in it, like a girl, like he touched a girl inappropriately at a function, right? And then she was hinting at it on socials, or her friend was hinting at it. And then DMs were being passed around. And one of them got passed to one of my boys who's also in our football group, our football podcast. He said, you know, this is what my man's getting up to. Cool. So one of the other brethren, he's like, you know what? I want to reach out to her and speak to her on a level and ask her what she wants us to do about it. Already, we're like, we saw some signs of you being a bit weird when it comes to girls. Not weird like you like girls too much. That's how we thought. We always said you like girls too much. Once we saw this, extradited.
Yeah.
Because, nah, we ain't with that funny man thing. And then he spoke to her, he said, what do you want us to do? And she said, he goes, okay, cool. He got moved. Instantly.
Yeah.
Another person, when the listing came out, yeah, and one of my friends, she had privyness to the person who was collating the list. You know, it was all a big fallout. With one person, she told me this gentleman had over 40 girls say something. 40 charges. Yeah, and it's somebody that I was cool with.
Yeah.
Since then, we have not spoken. Like, even one time I saw my function, we'd even look at each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you're doing them type of things, that doesn't sit with me. Do you know what I mean?
But can I think, and when I say can I quickly jump? Oh wait, do you want to finish your point?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but what I've realized is that even these people are still around them. They still know. So I feel like we can't always use that as a crutch. Sometimes people do not know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah.
But also sometimes man them do know. I'm not sure if their boy spun them a different story or they're just trying to compartmentalize it. But sometimes people are still those people. So I fully get that. So
when Mark says that if the room was never found, you would still be in there today, and you agreed. My question is, by that point, you saw there was 40 something plus people, and you would have seen some of them were, whether you call it bookie, weird, whatever. My point in that is not necessarily, I'm not even talking about you. There seems to be a desensitization and a normalization of men being close to that line or even crossing that line. But if there isn't, I don't know what we need to see before these people are really like, I feel like pushed out.
I feel like you're right, yeah, because I just don't want to do the witch hunting. Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to do the holier than thou thing.
No, speaking.
I'm not trying to do that to you. I'm not trying to do the performative thing on you. So I'm going to be honest with you. That is a problem because I don't know. Like I said, I admit I could be in that group.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have to be said to make me press that leave button.
I think paedophilia is because that's
something. You know what I'm trying to say? I'll put up with you're talking about getting close to the line or crossing the line. I don't know what would have to be said for me to press the leave button because it would just be
like... My thing is not even a conversation because it's like, if it was WhatsApp, I would have left instantly. Do you get it? Because I've been added to group chats like, I've seen +4, even plus a young +2, 3, 4, 5, nah, I'm out of there. But because it was Twitter and it's just like, you know how it is that tab, I would have just left it. Do you know what I mean? And just carried on tweeting. Because some of the men on that group I've muted. Do you know what I mean? I'm seeing, so what I'm trying to articulate is that I don't stand to those type of things. You get it?
Yeah.
Like my error, I should have left because I don't want to be seen as complicit. And obviously my presence being there, like to people who don't have the full scope of information, gives it credence and credibility. And that is what like I've been, so my own people are my harshest critics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're telling me like, you have a voice, so you have to do better. You're gonna have to be held to a particular time. And I said, you know what? I hear it. Do you know what I mean? So I have to hold my step for that. But I'm not going to act like man transphobic. Because even when I'm hearing certain things, like about like transphobia and homophobia, like two of my nearest and dearest have dealt with like that type of situation where it's impacted them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know for a fact how these things are. And when I'm hearing about people saying stuff like exterminate and this is a real life reality for people.
Yeah.
Do you get it? And I fully, there's a point you made quite earlier and I wanted to relate it back to this discussion and for the life of me, I cannot remember. It's like, because with a lot of man, and from the fallout, right, as well. So let me just be completely honest here. From the fallout, I spoke to somebody I know who laughed at one tweet that was horrible, right? And obviously he's been getting, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's quite upset about it. he's like a friendly person in nature. So I was like, right, you like that? I was like, swear down. He's like, yeah, I know it's dumb. Like, I was like so shocked about it, but I shouldn't have done that type of thing. And I was speaking to him, I was like, articulating like, do you know like that tweet relates to one of our close friends and what they've gone through type of thing. It's like, yeah, I hear it. But other people I've seen talk about it, they still think it's just jokes.
Yeah.
So that's why I fully understand the energy, because like man are not getting it. Do you get it? Like man are not getting it. Like you can't, it's not jokes. Because if man were making them type of jokes about, and let me give an example, perfect example that probably relate to us lot, right? I remember when I think somebody was talking about like somebody getting stabbed, right? But they were using it as an insult. Like, oh, you got stabbed bare times, like a kebab, or something along those lines, yeah? Because that's a reality for a lot of men that I know somebody who's been stabbed. I think if you ask bare black brothers, most of us have known somebody to have been stabbed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No. Mugs is so annoying.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So because that's something that it hits home, we're like, how can you find that funny?
Quick question.
Would
you find that funny? If someone made like a joke about stabbing, I feel like you wouldn't take it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't take it personal. So do we need to be aware of those that would take it personal? Because
a lot of people will. Because like, for example, like,
because I don't know if
I'll give something that I don't like when I see it on socials. Yeah. It's like, you never see me like sharing videos. Do you know that you see videos of two men getting into an altercation?
Yeah.
Whether it be a fight, whether it be knives out, whether it be guns being backed out. Like I remember one time a guy was proper punching up a guy. He ran down the road and ran and jumped and stumped his head. People use that as a meme. But I've seen the impact it had in real life where, and I just think, how are you using this? That's not funny.
Do you know what it is?
And that's because, quickly before you go, that's only because it's been related to my world where I've kicked ball with a man on Monday and on Friday, I'm never going to see him again.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Hence why you articulate perfectly, like, both of you articulate perfectly about the rape joke, like, because you're thinking this is the type of energy that abusers have.
So this is the kind of energy that the guy that touched either one of us.
Do you get it? So like, if you've, and I would like to believe as society, on average, let me say, rape is probably the one thing that a lot of us, I would like to believe, is like one of the top things on our thing. Because
we should all be in unison about.
Yeah. Because like I'm gonna keep it real. Like I've known men that have done some wild things on the roads. Do you know what I mean? And they're still my people.
Yeah.
If you've done something to a woman, nah. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you feel like because I am a big inappropriate joker, like,
yes,
do you know what I mean? And I think we all are, like, we run jokes in this room all the time, and I think people have different sensibilities. Does there need to be like there's the ongoing conversation about humor and how it's usually used to mask meanness, and that people aren't actually funny, they're just mean. And I just thought about the stuff I laugh at, like, do you know what I mean? And who my favorite comedians are, and I was thinking, wait, am I just laughing at mean shit, or is this? So when this room comes up, obviously these are things that I don't find funny. But you talk about not being holier than thou, and in this, for a second, I'm just thinking, wait, meme culture, all of that stuff is like,
I think there's a difference in laughing.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say there's a similarity.
No, I know you're not saying that.
I'm saying, as a society, are we desensitized, and do we need to resensitize?
We're desensitized to certain things, right? And if we're being very honest with ourselves, we are desensitized, and on average, human beings are less likely to care about a joke that is not about the group they belong in, right? Because I'm going to keep it real myself. I'm a very logical person, right? So when I'm watching like some of my favorite comedians, whether it be Cat Williams, whether it be Dave Chappelle or whoever, and they're making jokes about white people or another group that doesn't belong to me, I'm cackling. Do you know what I mean? But let it be a young white comedian. I might be, yo, dog, you need to slow down with that. So it's natural. But I think our society is developing, and we're realizing that you can still be people on Twitter are funny every flipping day. TikTok is lit. Reels is lit. You can be funny without being very, very, very offensive. A young bit of offensiveness is all right. I'm not gonna come here and pretend I'm something I'm not. I don't mind a little bit of rudeness. Do you know what I mean? I know I've been getting caught. I remember there's one picture I took when I went to Ghana in 2019, and I didn't really deep it, but my toes are going over my Gucci sandals, yeah. And you know, back in the days, yeah, on Insta, you can see how many shares I had. That had hella shares. So I know people were sharing it to their brothers like, yo, look at my man. Like the picture was, do you know what I mean? So I know I've definitely been on the receiving end. I'm not to make myself a victim, but I know how we can be. Like we could be a bit cheeky about each other. That's cool.
Can I throw it back to Esther? Because you were about to say something.
I think with the jokes thing, I just think, like, this is why I made a point earlier about, I find it weird when people make jokes about certain things, knowing the kind of people that are in your life. Like you said, like when I watch comedies and whatever, Kevin Hart making jokes about white people and what white people saying whatever, I laugh at it. But sometimes as well, I might see something on the timeline that I think is funny, but I have white friends. So for me, but maybe this is how I'm wired personally, but I'm very aware of the fact that there are people in my life that may be triggered by this. Even like when we talk about like relationships and everyone talks about relationships and like, leave him, sis, and all that kind of stuff. If I know one of my friends in my life is having boy problems, I am not going to do that. Do you get me? And they might not even come on Twitter that day. They might be logged out of Twitter because I sent you a meme 2 days ago, you haven't replied yet. But for me, it's just that it's being sensitive to the fact that the people in my life...
It's giving a toss.
Or also as well, sometimes the strangers on my timeline, I might see someone tweet something about something. And so for me, like, I'm not going to tweet about it because that could be a trigger for you. So while I love a good joke, I'm a funny babe, if I say so myself. Alleged. I love a good... It's not alleged. It's a fact. But I love a good joke. But my thing is, we need to be sensitive to the world that we live in. And the thing is as well...
We're just not considerate though, do we? We don't...
But we need to be.
The average person doesn't go around considering other people's feelings. Like,
and that's true, but we need to be, because you know what it is?
Those people are like angels. They're good people in society. Like the average person doesn't consider people's feelings.
But you know what it is though? I think on certain matters, right? On certain matters, right?
That's full.
I just know that you shouldn't have to make a joke about it, because this is now, okay, back in the day, you may have been able to make a joke about this or blah, 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 and no one really checked for it. The climate we live in today is different. So really and truly, as much as this might be dark humor or a joke or whatever it is, it's not right. Because you've witnessed some form of conversation about this matter.
This stuff, I don't think it's dark humor, in my opinion. And I don't want to come and, like, I like to be fair and accurate, right?
Yeah.
So there was like, I don't know how many members in the group there ended up being. I'm sure a significant proportion of them never said a word. Do you know what I mean?
I have heard of people that didn't actually know they were
in that group.
They were in the group, but
they didn't even know what's going on.
They literally had their phone in the morning and then went back, and then they come back nighttime.
And then it's a magazine.
And then they even DMing people to say what's going on. Like, I'm seeing my face on the screenshots.
And
they obviously screenshotted that and then putting it out again.
So I don't want to paint like every member, because some of them like were just there. Do you get it?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is why, as people, as men, as like even me, from that experience, I've reevaluated. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't like to move with wayward people.
I was going to ask you that.
I don't like to move with wayward people. Yeah. Like, I was very, very angry because I've been put in a situation to look like something I'm not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, some of the things, like, from what I've seen retrospectively, that's not dark humor. And from what I saw in brief spits and spurts, the energy I got was like, you were excited to get this shit off. Like, you were hella excited. Like, you're like, finally, it's like, finally.
Someone said this is the
do you know what I mean? So, for me...
This is what they did with
someone said this is the safest place on the globe.
And which is mad because it was public, so we all got, you know what I mean?
You're a nuisance.
The things that, can I ask, did you not think it was private?
I'm so sorry, but this is the safest place on the globe here.
Yeah.
And this is what you want to use the safest place on the globe to do.
So they thought it was private?
Yeah, like, I thought it was private.
Basically, they thought the tweets couldn't be seen.
Yeah. So, all the time.
But you can see the quote tweets. So I could be in the group here. I tweet something. So you will see me tweet, but you can't see where it's coming from. Yes, so then someone decided, let me investigate. I mean, where is this coming from? Where's the source of all of this? Then there it is.
I think, like, if you are insinuating violence against people,
that's not...
That's a mazine.
A child. I think people are trying to... Adult,
woman, man, it's a mazine, let alone a flipping child. Do you get it? So, like, I don't think, and especially because of the context of the world we are living in, like, I don't think that could be allowed to get off as. And what I saw from that is what I've started to learn for the last 3-4 years, because I live in an evidence-based world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not on a vibes thing. Somebody says something, it has to run. I'll argue with my mum, she says something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to understand. I need there to be a level of evidence. Obviously, some things people tell me, once I've got that trust in you, I'm gonna take your word as gospel, But like, it shows what a lot of the women online have been talking about is that left to your own devices, this is what you man are on.
And when people say that, they get dragged.
Yeah. And one of the things is one of my brothers. Yeah, shout him out. Yeah, he said this like a few years ago. Right, he's like, as men, we can't look at the world and think, as you said earlier, like you couldn't really deep it because you don't think that way. But because we don't think that way doesn't mean Joe from down the road isn't that way inclined. Do you know what I mean? So we got to stop holding men to the same stand. We got to stop assuming men are behaving the same way, have the same mentality that we are, because there's insurmountable evidence that is a large enough amount of people are behaving in an abhorrent manner.
And that's reality. Because my driving instructor told me that my first lesson. He said, you need to drive as if you're the only sensible person on the road.
Yeah, that's
like, don't assume that because you're a sensible person, everyone else. And that's why even when you said about not everyone is considerate.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of that this is just how I think, sometimes to my own detriment, but I'm very aware of the fact that this is how I think. So sometimes I can't really understand things. I think, really, like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, even with the group stuff, and I told you this off air, how with me, I would have seen that group and thought, the way I see things, you can present something to me, that just present that to me. I am thinking way beyond what you've just shown me. I'm thinking way ahead. I'm coming up with different scenarios. Like, my brain is literally like a Netflix. Shonda Rhimes ain't got nothing on my brain, basically, in my mind. So for me, I would have seen that group and thought, this is wild. Like, I would have seen that in my podcast co-host, Akuya, right? Known her several years. I trust her, my sister. If she had me in a group like that kind of community, I'm texting her like, hey, what's going on with the group? Because we've got other mediums to talk.
Yeah.
We've got, because I know you said that your best friend added you in there and whatever, but I'm thinking, mate, we've got Instagram DM, we've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, we've got Twitter DMs, we've got iMessage, we've got WhatsApp, we've got so many things. Yeah. Why are we here? And if I come back to it and I see like all that stuff, it's weird to me. But again, I'm very aware of the fact that not everyone thinks that way, but I can't lie to you. I'm kind of, even though I know it's traumatic for people, for me, when things like this happen, I'm glad it happened because we get to see the fakes. Exactly. We get to see the fakes. And the people that are under doing pro-black women, we get to see.
Just to say, like, that's what I said about the trust thing, innit?
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm a member of a group chat called NBA Talk, right? And then one of my boys, he added me probably 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Off the strength of him, I'm like, okay, cool, you can add me to a group with not a bunch of funny man. And that's been one of my favorite group chats. Like, I go in there and I ask any questions. We talk about, obviously we talk about babes. Everybody does, but we talk about NBA, NFL, tech.
Yeah.
If I need to know anything before I go ask them. Do you know what I mean? So this is a level of trust I had. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I paid the price. And what I should have done, as Mar said, is that when I saw bare funny man, I should have just left.
Because you had a feeling.
Yeah, I had that's why I'm so pissed.
You listen to it.
But yeah, I'm so pissed because I like to hold myself accountable. I don't like to blame other people. Do you know what I mean? I'm pissed but I was so encapsulated with just going about my day. I didn't pay it enough of thought of mine to, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm so because if that was WhatsApp, I would have cut. And I know you said about the different mediums. I didn't even think of it that way because I speak to some of my friends. They'll send me DMs on Insta, Twitter, iMessage.
While I'm on FaceTime to you.
Yeah. Like, I know maybe if you see something on said app, it's just easier to fling it there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's a massive. But yeah, like, I definitely have to hold accountability for that because I don't want to be even if, I don't know, let's say you joined this is a very stupid example, but if you're part of the KKK, you've been on no glides, you're still part of the KKK. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't
if you're the one who hands them teas and biscuits,
you might be ironing their hat thing.
You're doing admin. You might be, no.
You're part of it. You're part of it.
You're still part of the ops. Do you know what I mean?
I think the thing that's the most uncomfortable for me is how comfortable all of these black guys were with. And I know there were a lot of people that targeted in that group. I'm just going to focus on this really quickly. It's how comfortable they were with disparaging black women. Like, I
think it's scary.
Because, if I could just give an example, what team do you guys support? Manchester United again, right? If you accidentally added yourself, say you didn't know what it was, and then all of a sudden you're hearing mad rubbish about Manchester United, you're either going to condemn them. And the thing about me, what was sad is that I knew nobody would condemn anybody in that group. Like, nobody would say, "Mandem, this is a bit wild." They would just quietly leave. I don't know if it's just the nature of men, where it's like, I'm not going to make a noise. I'm going to finish my point really quickly. Is either you condemn or you would leave. Yeah. And I feel like, why was that energy not there because there were so many phobias having a party in that room, like so many different phobias, yeah? I'm like, one of them should have disgusted you. If it wasn't the black woman, it would have been
they're killing her child.
We haven't even spoke about this, so maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it's trigger warning, I don't know. You do what feels right for you. But I feel like if we actually listen to them, the creativity that went into the stupidity to make these men.
I'm
telling you something now, yeah. My head's just running like as you are talking. Like,
okay.
Men are proper fucked up.
I
don't know.
Achieved what we need.
No, because I'm being dead serious, yeah. I can't remember a time yet I've unfollowed someone for chatting shit about women or something like that. Yeah. If I follow Manchester United fans, like my own people, yeah, and I see them talking bad about my club, yeah, I unfollow them.
I don't think there's enough outrage, and I don't know if you lot don't see.
I don't want to see that. I unfollow them. Does it not
make you sad?
Do you know what that comes to is desensitization.
Yeah, but is it that?
I think it is.
Well, with me, like let me be true. Like I think for me, it's more the medium. Like I've left, like when it comes to those topics, like I've muted a lot of words because I don't think Twitter has been like. I don't feel like there's enough. Like actual honest conversations on Twitter about topics. I feel like Twitter is good for flogging people.
It's a stage,
and I feel like floggings need to happen because I feel like it needs to be okay. Cool, we're gonna let you know that if you do this, there is retribution. But in terms of the reconciliation, that Twitter's not good for it. So when people have discussions on Twitter, I realize that a lot of people are coming to discussions to win the argument.
Yeah,
they're not coming in to understand. So I kind of left that behind. But like if I've had conversations in like actual group chats. But for example, sometimes, man, I remember having a conversation where people were talking about aggressiveness, and as a black woman's like, you can't say black women are aggressive. Like, there's no evidence basis for that. That's they are talk about the typical stereotype. I'm like, as black people, we like if you're Caribbean or if you're African, we're more expressive in our nature.
Yeah.
If we're comparing it to white Europeans, Europeans are way more reserved.
Yeah.
Like, look how, and we are more expressive in every emotion.
Yeah.
Our joy has more vim. Our
Yeah.
happiness has more vim. So naturally, our anger and our sadness will have more vim. It's all the same. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So if just because a woman might be has more expressive body language, hand movements, whatever, doesn't make her any more aggressive.
And they don't apply that energy to Latinos or Italians.
I was about to say,
it's sexy then.
And I was about to say that, and then and the way I brought the point home, I said, how many times have you seen in public a white British woman literally lay into her boyfriend, shouting, screaming in his face? You see that on TV. How many times have you seen it from your own community? Okay, cool. But the way it's been packaged is that's our bad. That's not as aggressive.
We were indoctrinated.
Yeah, so I'm willing to have that discussion. Like, and we always have chats. My people pull me up. We just like to have gist. Do you know what I mean? But I think I'm less likely to do it on social media. I'm more likely to say it in my podcast than I am on Twitter because I kind of got fatigue of Twitter. But I also agree with Marks is that like. We are desensitized as men to everything, fam. Like, everything. Like, I'm going to keep it true. Like, I've heard stories of like, oh, so-and-so ran up on my man. And we're running jokes about it. We're like, yo, I heard man jumped out the window. Does man think he can fly? Like, but this is a serious situation. Do you know what I mean? So I do believe that, as Mark said, that needs to be addressed in us because, like, if it was something else, like, we might take it more, we might have a more, I don't even know the word, a more pragmatic approach rather than just like, just leaving it type of thing.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I just think it's a bit weird that it's so different. I think initially, and please correct me or corroborate or whatever. I think growing up, I was kind of taught to defend black men, or to side with them, or to hear them, or to value them, or whatever. Right? I think
to them,
cater to them, whatever. And I feel like maybe now in this stage, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be a barter basis. You gotta do something before I feel that way about you. But it's so crazy that you guys weren't raised with that, but you guys will be on a. Not everyone, but I love my mum. It's like I don't know why you guys don't have that.
I think my thoughts of growing up, it's shifted. It's shifted now. It's shifted now, but one of my memories of growing up as like black men and hearing the way that, especially like black women talk about them, is just like not being good enough in that.
That's like, what you experienced.
Like black women weren't good enough.
No, black men weren't good enough.
You feel like
okay.
Well, I'm not a guy, so I didn't get that experience. I feel like I was taught to my value was how much
it just seemed like
I made you all happy.
That's something that I could actually think about growing up, knowing that, just hearing like the narrative is just like they're just always doing something wrong or just something, and then like when interracial dating and stuff come into it and stuff like that, it seemed like they got battered so much that they ran away and then got cussed for running away.
That's so interesting.
It's interesting because I've heard that.
I've heard that a lot.
In terms of like black men not being good enough.
I think
that's just my memory of it when I think about it. Like obviously you're saying about what you feel. When I think about it, like growing up and stuff that I'm not even involved in, because I might not even be dating over it, just the perception of of what it is. That's just what my brain tells me.
In my head, when I see a woman, a black woman without a black man, the feeling I got from church and different communities was that she didn't do enough to keep him. So it was like the guy was never wrong. It was that she could have done more. So in my head, I'm being raised to think I need to be a certain kind of woman, and there's a value in being a certain kind of woman. Obviously, you unlearn, you reassess, and all of that stuff. So this is what I've always said. I feel like, forget men and women. I'm going to talk specifically about black men and women. It's like we were raised to not get along. It was like something happens.
Yeah, because it's funny because what I would see with how I was socialized with interracial relationships is that, so if it was a black woman with a white guy, is that it's easier for her over there. Like, the black man brings stress and all that kind of stuff. So this guy will treat her like a princess. Yeah, this is how you get treated like
crazy.
A queen. Not over there, not with a black man.
That's crazy.
Can I say something about the defending thing? Yeah. And I think within the community, I think there's a disconnect in the defending cause. I think when women, and I know this because I'm around a lot of men. So men are going to talk to me, they're not going to talk on social media. Men are too on edge, as you saw. They have to create a room to do a magazine. But they say...
Didn't even lock the door.
Yeah. They say like, when they think of defending of black women, they feel like, okay, cool, making sure there's no harm to people of your community. So they're thinking more... So this is from what I've observed. Yeah. And when I think of defending, I think I would never, ever be out and there's another, let's say if I see like an auntie or a black woman, I'll give them my seat on the train. The way I'll treat you, even if I'm rushing to get a train, if I see a black woman on the side with a suitcase, I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm going to help her up.
Yeah.
If it's another, boy, you're going to have to hold that. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff like...
You're dumb.
You're going to have to hold that, my guy. And stuff like, do you know what I mean? Like in the workplace, I'm not going to sit there and watch like somebody do microaggressions to a woman, do you know what I mean?
I'm not struggling to call him by the first name. I want to call him auntie so bad. I think this is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think the disconnect is that women are also expecting within the intra-community, not the external, within the intra-community, when people are making disparaging remarks or doing disparaging behaviour towards us, also stand up. And I feel like there maybe needs to be a level of vocalization of how people feel, but I think men aren't vocal enough that, because man think, bro, no one can ever do anything to my friend, to my cousin, but I think it's more, I don't know, I think that's where the disconnect is. I think the talking thing is not really a man thing to kind of openly vocalize type of stuff, but yeah, man, I think like this is a good example of like this type of space shouldn't really run if everybody's on the same lockstep, and I think a lot of men in that group probably hadn't seen nothing, but a lot of men in that group aren't good people. Yeah. Do you get it? Like, they are not good people. Like, what they're saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like I definitely agree with you in terms of the vocalizing. But I think also the manner in which and I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but the manner in which we vocalize as well, because I think that there's certain ways that people speak on their experiences that puts the people that need to hear it, it puts them off hearing it because it's very intimidating in the delivery.
Because it's emotional.
Yeah, but I think we need to find a way as well where we can communicate and vocalize and share and have that conversation.
Should I say something that's very interesting? Yeah, because that's what I've always been a big on. Like, if I'm gonna ask Koi to do something for me, I'm not gonna speak to Koi in Mandarin because she's gonna look at me like, my guy, what are you talking about? I have to communicate. Like, if my end goal is to get Koi to do something or change her behavior, it's in my best interest to communicate to Koi in a manner that she wishes, that is most efficient for her to understand. Yeah. However, so that's always been my mentality. But speaking to some of my people, they've been like, Ayo, as women, as black women, we've been trying different ways and man aren't hearing us. So now we've reached a point of frustration. And the same, like, sometimes like even in an interpersonal relationship with your girl, imagine you told your girl, hey, babe, I don't really like when you do this. And eventually you get frustrated and you say it in a frustrated manner and they're like, why are you telling me this manner? You could have told me, but you're like, I've been telling you. So I fully understand why it can be very explosive and direct because they feel like it's gone past that point. Yeah. And I think this is where, like, from what my friends told me, is like, this is where the men come in, the men that know better. I always believe if you know better, you should do better. Absolutely. And I think, although I have spoken of things on like my podcast and that, I could probably do a better job. Room for I could do a better job of articulating that thing because I know better, so I can be more vocal. And one of my and the same girl says to me, men are more likely to listen to a man than a girl. because there was one debate going on. I remember this. The one debate going on, and this is a group chat full of good people, in my opinion. Good people. They weren't seeing it from the girl's perspective. I said the same bars that my brethren said. Shout out MXN. The same bars, and like, do you know what? I deep it, and I think it's because naturally, as human beings, like,
it's crazy.
If you're from a different group, sometimes people you already got your guard up because you're seeing them as the ops. Do you know what I mean? So you're not taking their information in good faith. And I think that's the issue. That's an issue that
we definitely need to address.
But I think the emphasis is more on the man them side. Yeah. In this instance, when it comes to this topic of like the interpersonal relationship of black men and black women, I think although there's work to be done on both sides, but like I think it's more on the side of the man them that we need to take in some of this information in good faith. That these are people, and I obviously think things should be done and vice versa. But I think obviously because of what's happened, we're talking about
this right now.
Yeah, we should take in information in good faith, and it shouldn't have to come from a myself or another popular or Margs or Brent or another somebody that's. You should be able to listen to somebody who looks like you, who experiences 95% of the things that you experience, and take it on the board. You get it.
And can I just add to that quickly? Yeah, but this is something that we're gonna have to go into another day as well, because it also shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to understand something because it's been related to your family member, to your mum, to your sister, to your daughter, to niece. That I find is such a problematic.
I don't care about your mum.
It's a proper. And you know what? It's like it's such a problematic mindset for me. Like I hate when people say that. Like, imagine if it was your mum. You shouldn't have to imagine if someone was your mum to empathise with the struggle that there is. But that is something that
don't work. That's why I say we don't care about people. When people will say that, like, imagine it was your mum. If it was my mum, I'd care.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. Like, I'm not his mum, but I do think that we've done that in terms of the way we deliver information and we're able to understand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like we've done that today.
Yeah, I think sometimes we also...
Yeah, I was going to say we've done that today in terms of like, even with you guys, that you guys don't really know fully our experiences, but I feel like from the way we've spoken to you and explained things to you and why things is not just black and white, you guys understand that. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100.
Not me talking for them, so...
No, it's true. Like I said, I think conversations are important. If you don't have them, you don't hear things, then you don't know it. And we don't think the same ways. You know what I'm saying? That's why our wires are crossed. That's why our wires get crossed all the time.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm proper tired of like the whole, because I feel like what you said is so true. Like our wires get crossed because usually we're not having conversations. We're playing table tennis. Yeah, I hit your side. Yeah, you get back to my side. That's not a conversation. Do you get it?
But then also it's like. It's raw conversation though, right? Yeah. It's like it's saying what's in here because we don't do that, and a lot of people do it. It could be in bare times. Like you have situations where it's time to talk up. Yeah, it could be a meeting. It could be about anything. When it's time to talk up, when you talk, and then you talk, but then when you leave, there's always
more of I could have said that.
I could have said, or I should have said
that in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm so petty. Yeah, I'd be fuming.
I react the shit out.
Like, but there's pure times, especially like in group situations and meetings. There's times when there's a point that you're. I don't want to say dying to get off because you will get it off if you was dying. Yeah, true. You got something. Yeah. You get me, but you don't let it go.
But you know what? That's what TDA is about, and I love that. I feel like it's the space to have important conversations.
Absolutely,
to be had. So I absolutely love that.
I think this conversation could go on for way longer, and I think it should be an ongoing conversation.
Yeah. Thanks for being our first guest. You called it. You wanted to be there so bad.
You really should have said you wanted money.
Bro, I'm a visionary. Like I'm like Kanye. Like I just see things.
Relax it. Okay, cool. But we're gonna wrap up, and just to make sure that this wasn't just lip service, I want everyone to kind of just say what's the main thing they've learned from this conversation.
I'll let the guys go first.
Yeah, I love that.
The main thing I've learned from this conversation is just that. It's the same thing that I just think that we need to talk, man. We need to talk. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you don't need more proof of it that on an issue
there's a disconnect.
Yeah, there's a disconnect on issues that are something that's so serious and that we all agree on as well. Yeah. And we still manage to see things from different angles and whatnot. I just think we just need to get here so we can start to understand each other and then we can start to move forward.
Question. 100% we need to talk.
When Brett says question, I get nervous.
Question? Tell me how you feel.
I'm guessing that's between men and women, right?
Yeah.
And this particular group, this was created, even though women have been talking for like forever.
Facts.
And this was created with a bunch of men in it. So when you say we need to talk, does it also include men talking to men?
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, because there's different types, and we need to hold each other accountable. It's like what Disu just said. Like we receive information better from men than women sometimes.
Which is
You
problematic.
get what I'm trying to say? So when you got your counterparts holding you accountable to certain things, it's better. Like for the teaching moment. So yeah, that definitely needs to happen. But from both genders or whatever it is, like there's the leaders need to come forward and handle that, innit? And they're the ones that need to pick up the conversations between the opposite sex, but they're also the ones that need to be driving the information and driving the points of the conversation between their own sex. You know what I'm trying to say?
And who are the leaders in this culture?
I mean, I don't know who our leaders are, but obviously
who do men most listen to currently?
What now?
Yeah, these types of men that created that particular room.
I don't know. I'm not one of them type of men.
I think men respect men or look up to men that have status and money, right?
Mm-hmm.
That tends to be rappers, athletes, maybe at the creme de la creme content creators, not just like Olua banging these 200 followers, like the actual, do you know what I mean? Like the actual people that actually out here getting it. So I think that's the.
But whether there's people there that you can point out, there's no one actually delivering a message.
Mm.
Regardless of who you're saying these type of men are, regardless of what, there's no one taking on that leadership role, pushing a message, innit? You feel me?
Yeah, I think that
I'll do it, Brent, but they're not gonna listen to me, man.
I think that's gonna tie into what I said. I learned that
speaking that voice, listen.
Yeah. What I learned is that just learning, like speaking, like not consistently, but here and there, and not doing the fuckery isn't enough. Because, as I said, the way I learn about certain things when it comes to the more emotive factor, because I'm not the best, I'm more binary numbers than that, is that I flip it on me. To stop, like, if it was, when it comes to racism, for example, like, if a man, just because you're not being racist, and, like, you haven't been racist, you've learned, you treat people with respect and with equality. When you see the mazine going on, and you're just silent, I feel that you're complicit. So I think what I've learned is that me being patterned in my own individual behaviour is not enough, especially because I have somewhat a voice. Do you know what I mean? So
also there, when I'm saying we need to talk, I'm not trying to say like an opportunity to create some content, like some big kumbaya, get people in a space and have conversations. They'll be good. Whatever. I mean, like, genuinely, like, in real life, like, if you're listening to this, if you got female relationships, friends, siblings, whatever it may be, pick up the phone and have some conversations, like, self-educated. It don't need to be a song and dance. It don't need to be a scene. It can be done in your spare time. No one don't even have to know.
Yeah.
That's how I learn a lot of stuff, because, like, for example, sometimes I'll say certain socials, or Brethren Bums, or Brethren Bola, or Brethren Martin will hit me up like, yo, like, that's not it. I'm like, what do you mean that's not it? Because I'm thinking it from a logical perspective. A could be C. She's like, no, boom, 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 here's she, boom, 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 boom. That's how man's learn. Do you know what I mean? But not everybody has that accessibility. And some people, you literally have to get the spoon and drive it and shove it down their throats for them to learn, innit? And I feel like I could definitely do more with my voice. Do you know what I mean? I could do more, because in the group, I might have said, like, you man are moving. In my head, I thought in my head, you man are moving thirsty to do better. But I was just like, let me just carry on my business. It's not you can't every day mind my business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah, so
you can't every day mind my business. That's true.
So like the same accountability I'll hold like my nearest and dearest to, because I feel I can.
Yeah,
I should be able to do that with people who are maybe not so close and just strangers online. Because if, as Mark said, if man were being racist towards Pogba, man's on the front line saying "Wagwan," do you know what I mean? So,
Esther?
Go on.
I would say that what I've learned is it's important. Obviously, the company that you keep. Definitely, if you have a feeling about something, react to it. I think also we spoke about grace in an earlier episode. I'm not sure if it was Monday or Tuesday. And I think that sometimes with these conversations, even though it's definitely hurtful, it's definitely triggering, it's hurtful. I think that sometimes we need to be willing to educate, even though I know I said I'm not really the educator here. I'm tired of it.
You're open to change. That's good.
But do you get me? Yes, I think that. But I think it's important to be willing to, despite your anger and the emotions you're feeling, be able to talk to someone and sit down with them and let them explain to them why it is that what they've done
there
is
needs to be,
harmful.
because with this whole cancel culture, people do this whole witch hunt thing, and it's like, all right, cool, I want to mess up his bag, I want to mess up his financials, I want to go for his family, and rare. It's like, all right, cool, everybody deserves their little flogging on that, but after that, then what? Then what do you want?
And
what do you want from him?
Like clockwork, it happens again.
Do you think cancel culture?
Miles, you in this alarm?
Sorry, do you think cancel culture led to do? But do you think cancel culture was a key factor in why the room was created? Because remember, it was private, so cancel culture didn't necessarily change the hearts of these people. It just made them the rat infestation. They just went into.
I think cancel culture is now a mindset. Like it's people act on cancel culture without realizing that it's cancel culture now.
If you can't say
it was calling for deplatforming.
Like you should, I don't like cancel culture when they try and cancel people when it's unjustified. I feel like if you do something that's justified, then
get him out of here. Get that man to jail.
So you can't say like they made the room because of cancel culture. So you wanted a place so you could do something.
No. What Koye's saying is that
remix my English.
What Koye's saying is that because of cancel culture, they
didn't change. They
just adapted because. Before cancel culture, them man would have been saying it live on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? 2010, 2011, they would have been saying it live. Because of cancel culture.
Yeah, but that's 2010, but it's 2022.
The difference between 2022 and 2010 is that there's been a rise in social awareness, which has led to people holding something for being unsocially aware and not being decent people in what we need to be decent.
And because of cancel culture, that's why they thought they were in the safest space on the globe.
Yeah.
But just to make it super clear, I said, is it a key
key
ingredient in why because these people didn't change the flogging we gave them didn't make them change their heart.
Is that they're agents? Because man are saying that without cancel culture, they would have tweeted it. They can't. Like, why would you want to tweet that?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because they're weirdos.
So that's
So and my final learnings for me is personally, I think it's fucked that internally a lot of people still look down on people that they can't relate to in such a way. Yeah. I feel like when black men cuss other black men, it's usually because those black men have done something dumb. But to cuss black women or
we don't have to do anything.
A trans person because of just their existence is fuckery.
It's wild.
It's disgusting. And as someone who dates black men and like I spend so much time with black men, I really like to think that I found the few that are wavy. But it's crazy because some of those people, I'm sure, are not horrible people in their day-to-day. Do you know what I mean? Some of those people, but to hold these sentiments is really disappointing. Like, really disappointing. But let's, man. Do you feel like you've said what you had to say, Disu?
Anything else?
Because I feel like we have, right?
Yeah.
What's the thing you want people to think or take away from this conversation?
To know that I'm not that way inclined.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just not that way inclined. Some people said some stuff on Clubhouse that were not Clubhouse, Bird Space, Twitter Space that were completely inaccurate. That weren't true. But I put myself in that position, so I have to take accountability.
Do you want to address what's not true?
Harassing people for time, saying I hate dark-skinned women. All that. It's not true. Do you know what I mean? It's not true whatsoever. But that's not diverted from accountability. That I have to take that. I was in a space, even though I didn't choose to be in that. Like I didn't know it was gonna be that way. But once even though I caught the vibe, do you know what I mean? So I should have cut. And from that, the accountability I learned from that is, first of all, take everything with the same level of credence if it was another situation, one.
Yeah.
Being silent and just ignoring things, I think you lot are disgusted, I'm going to keep it moving, is still complicit. And also the company you keep, because a lot of my other friends were like, I can't even believe you're in there. And then they're like, you need to reassess, do you know what I mean? That's something bad. And I said facts, because
that's wild.
That was a mad thing still.
Well, even though this was big in our world, there's so many other things that were really, really happening as well. So let's jump into the next segment. Thank you everyone for being open and sharing. Yeah. I need water. Yo, beautiful people. So this segment is What You Sayin, and it's topic of the day. So Piers Morgan and Donald Trump have gone on a date. So Piers has
a date.
They've gone on a date. So the first episode of Piers Morgan's new show, someone like Piers Morgan won't disappear, you know. It's a cockroach thing. He's too resilient. Like, he's way too resilient. The trailer was released and it's caused a stir. And in this trailer, we see Trump walking out of the show. He responded that this trailer was deceptively edited and says he did not storm out, but instead twerked. No, I'm joking. Instead ended the sit down with laughing and small talk. What I love, about the madness is he doesn't care about the facts.
Do you know what it is? I respect it when someone is the way they are and is sitting it.
It's audacity.
And I can't do anything but respect you because you know you're an idiot, and I'm like, I'm an idiot, and that's my story. And I'm sticking to it.
We saw you storm out. What are you guys' thoughts? Are you going to be watching this? I think that's my first question.
Absolutely. On the big screen.
Screaming.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I don't know if I'll catch it live, but I'm definitely going to watch it.
Bear man, he didn't storm out.
He didn't?
Yeah, he didn't storm out. No, they lied. They done that.
There's another statement.
That for the edit. They done that for the edit. That's for like dramatization.
Yeah,
so how did they get his legs?
There you go.
Okay.
I say how did they get his legs moving? He probably wanted a toilet. Remember we said to him, it's a toilet break. He got up, went to the toilet, then they're like,
this is why people are
This is the end of the interview, and I think they just edited it to make it look like that.
So Piers Morgan wrote that the interview ended with Trump abruptly jumping to his feet, looking hateful and barking at the shop.
How do you look hateful?
Yeah.
You lot just hate. That's very scary.
And then he said to the crew, turn the cameras off. Then he turned on his heel.
Cut the cameras dead.
How are you gonna say turn on his heel? What was gonna turn on? His cheeks?
Do you know? It's even sounding extra. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And stopped angrily off through a side door loud. This is like when your mum tries to hit you and you might swerve it.
You're trying to kill me.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Now she's called all your relatives in Nigeria. Now it's a whole family
happened
thing.
in the Caribbean community. If your mum tried to hit you and you stopped it
and you dodged it.
Stop what? You want dead?
See, Miles was raised well, guys. He was raised well. He took every beating.
Why would I want to stand there for that?
Stop what? You must want to. Nah.
I used to hide on the top.
You don't even have to cry in the Caribbean house.
Don't
your parents say that?
Actually, I'll give you a good reason to cry.
Really,
yeah, you want to give you something to cry for?
We didn't.
You have given me something, so I'm crying.
Do you know what I mean? Like I can remind you.
Exactly.
There's a technique. I had to like listen. I just have to hold it. Because the more I move, the anger she's getting.
She got innovative.
So she's added VAT.
VAT.
I just used to hug it. My mum used to hate me. She used to like send me to the room. Like, go get my slipper. Go get my belt. And I'll just walk and go and get it. And come back and just give it to her.
Aww.
And then just hold it. And then just go about my business. And then just do what I wanted again.
I said, now that's over. What we have for dinner?
Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry, Auntie. And then when she gives you cake, you want to complain. Anyway, let me process.
Listen.
Go back to episode 2, guys. Okay, cool. So however, according to NBC, the audio provided by Trump's camp shows that the interview actually ending with Morgan saying this was a great interview, and then Trump then agrees, yeah. To which Morgan then says, "Thank you very much. I really appreciate it." It is at this point in the audio that Trump is heard saying, "Turn the camera off."
Piers Morgan's a liar anyway, so I would never listen to anything. And this is also dramatic. He turned on his heel.
Do you know what it is? This is the same guy that went to go and try and disturb Meghan Markle, saying that she's performing.
Yeah, because she declined the date.
Yo, he needs to heal.
He needs to heal.
I dislike it.
It's giving you.
It's giving who?
The show you.
You, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant give me. I said, how about no healed? I said, do you want another interview tomorrow?
You know, let's get your pop culture reference.
Yeah.
Your Netflix segment.
Do you know what? Piers got a new show, and this show seems like it's going to be even more deadly because he doesn't have a co-host.
Quick question: is Piers barred from Twitter? Or is he still on Twitter?
I haven't seen him.
I never even.
Is he on there?
He's on there. He's on there.
Okay, cool.
It's Donald that's
I need to be on Twitter
I
a
don't
little
like
bit more.
him. I don't like his tweets.
Who Piers?
I just think he's a nuisance.
Yeah, see Piers, yeah. Like, I feel like people like that, I think he's very clever in terms of how he presents himself.
Yeah.
So when he says, like, when he was talking about the whole, like, N-word debate, I feel like he knew, I think he believes what he believes, but he knew every time he taps into that, there's a garner a certain reaction. So I was like, do you know what? I know me and you, like, you're in the wrong about this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow you to use me to
it's marketing.
To chop dollar on top.
Yeah.
So I just block Piers. So now a lot of Piers is madness.
You don't
actually see.
Yeah, I unfollowed him.
But I'll be watching.
Do you know what I need to do? Because Twitter is like my fourth social media app. The first one is people in real life. The second one is TikTok, then Insta. So I actually, anyway, I will go and block Piers now. Okay. So okay, cool. I think that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you think the benefit of Piers coming out with this kind of lie is? Just, I guess, more views.
It's content.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the only way the first episode would have popped off heavily was either Trump or Meghan Markle. Meghan is not seeing that man for anything. So it has to be Trump. So it's really he's just content.
And I think also with like, it kind of taps into the whole controversy of Trump. He was big on fake news. He called out the media numerous of times. And it's interesting because the United States is actually one of the few countries that have a somewhat relatively free press.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of bias.
The stuff he was calling fake news was blatantly real news.
Yeah. So he was like, yo, that didn't happen. Like, bro, we were there. You were there too. But like this is like an example of somewhat fake news. So, and I think it's two very explosive characters.
Yeah.
And like in like I'll say like in a more liberal sphere of things, these are two villains. So to see them two combine together but be on opposite sides.
Have you seen what they've done with the ties? I noticed that. Because Pierce must be a Democrat, innit? He's wearing the blue tie
and Trump's wearing the red tie.
And Trump's wearing the red tie.
You know, I was going to say, I feel like they're even playing us, you know?
Yeah, they definitely are.
Because I feel like they know that, because they're both like very egotistical men.
Yeah.
And they love being talked about. And they love all of this. They love it.
They love it.
So I feel like even all of this where you're calling this person this, I didn't walk off, I walked off, blah, blah, blah. Because the interview's going to come, I'm going to see the truth. So I really feel like they're doing this on purpose. They're like, oh, let's just mess with them.
Yeah, they are like bad bees. They know how to get attention. 100%. Like
weirdos.
For me, I don't think the problem is, in this life, when you don't have shame, you can go far.
Oh, you go far.
You can go
shame
so
is what's
far.
holding me back.
Honestly, shame and religion. Listen. Anyway, listen. Let me explain why.
Yeah, you are not gonna just slide past that.
No, because when you have a code of conduct and you have a way that you choose to behave, anything outside of that, I got it back, mum. Sorry, mum. Church on Sunday, mum. Church on Sunday. But I don't think they care about being demonized. I think it works for them. It increases their
brand.
So yeah,
they love it.
For me, I watch them as entertainment, but they are actually powerful and problematic. So I should probably be a little bit more alert to that. But yeah, is that it? Any more thoughts?
We look forward to it.
All right, then let's jump into the headlines. Okay, headline number 1. Rwanda is making more money. Let's talk about this. Denmark is in talks with Rwanda for the asylum plan. So a couple of days ago, we spoke about how we are in talks. Well, not me, but Pretty is in talks with Rwanda for the asylum man. Not asylum man, asylum plan. Not mental man and asylum man.
Girl, it's a lot of men up in here.
It's getting terrible. Denmark last year passed laws allowing asylum seekers to be sent overseas, but at the time was yet to announce a partner country for the scheme. So it seems like Rwanda. I don't know. Do you think
Rwanda's
they
in their
approached
bag.
Rwanda, or do you think Rwanda approached them?
I still think something fish is going down. Because
Boy.
Rwanda, like,
hella man are eating.
is that any place that there is?
Hella man are eating.
That's the thing, that they're really in their capitalizing bag this year.
What if the whole of Africa jumps into this market?
I hope not. Nigeria's got enough problems of their own. Mind your business. Y'all stay out of this one. It's not everything that you have to get
Don't get any ideas over there.
No, it's looking like Rwanda want to monopolize that market, boy.
Yeah.
They're trying to get...
First movers advantage.
Mate, than anybody else?
Do you know what's crazy? Denmark actually has one of the lowest asylum seeker application numbers in Europe, but the Prime Minister was like, we want to get this to 0. So they are on their pretty Patel.
People don't go there.
I find it quite funny because Denmark, a lot of the Nordic countries like or Sweden, they're always seen, they're always seen as the beacon of how Western society should be because like obviously they have great healthcare services, they've got great social services, people there on a per capita basis they earn quite a lot of money. Like the countries, all them countries, the countries are quite clean. And it's interesting, like this kind of goes against the Western ideal.
Yeah, that's a different. That's not the normal stance.
Because it's not the most liberal of stances. This is quite. If you look at this on the political spectrum, that's quite pretty far right. Like we don't want none of y'all in the country. Do you know what I'm saying?
So get it to
do you know the reason for the change?
I don't know. Like when I was researching about Rwanda, I saw that Denmark was in. I was like Denmark, but I didn't think to research. So this is something I find very interesting because this is quite. Then again, even countries like Australia. And New Zealand, they're hard to get. They're hard. Yeah, they have. That's the immigration system that we imported from them. I think it was the Australian or New Zealand point system where it's like you have to have a certain point to qualify as a migrant, and so basically they're discriminating in terms of skill basis. They're determining what a high school worker is, and you have to have like maybe a degree. The job you're coming into have to be over 30-something grand for you to be able to come into the country. So they're effectively discriminating against a particular type of migrant who might be fleeing hardship or whatever to come to the country. So yeah, again, Denmark is always one of them countries that they do things in the best interest of their people. So maybe they perceive this to be in the best interest, but I find it pretty nasty personally. Yeah,
it seems like a little bit like overkill. But there's more headlines, so let's jump into the next one. Prince Harry's third eye is twitching. He said he wanted to make sure that the Queen was protected and had the right people around her. That is very suggestive.
Not trying to be cheeky or anything, but was the Queen concerned about his safety and the safety of his child, that when they were trying to predict
how
the shade of the child's complexion?
Facts.
Didn't they withdrew their security detail? They're like,
yes, they
did. Exactly. So Elizabeth?
He still loves his grandma. He still loves his grandma.
And that's
maybe
cute,
maybe it's because when he heard the story that
when Jason Lee
when he
had the exclusive.
When he heard that the Queen got queffed.
He would never live that down. Not on my watch.
Downing Street.
No.
Downing Street say that they are surprised by his comments and say that they have absolutely no concerns over the welfare arrangements in place to look after the Queen.
I think I love a good conspiracy theory.
He knows some shit.
He knows something.
Because, when everything was popping off, he never seemed angry at his nana. He never seemed angry at her. He seemed angry at everybody else.
That's killing me.
No, that's his nana. What's another word for grandma? I don't know.
You said like
nana. Yeah, because that's not how I say it.
They kept having their phone calls and stuff.
Yeah, they kept talking.
Yeah,
so I feel like, and people know that the royal family have other people that kind of do the day-to-day stuff and exert a certain level of power. So maybe he's scared.
But why would you be scared? That's deep, Like, how this... Sorry, stop it.
Maybe it's obviously we saw the tragicness that happened to Princess Diana.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of conspiracies around that. And obviously, listen, I don't...
But why is the Queen in it? She's the leader of all of this.
Why does he even care, man? She's well old, man. Like, she's been through it, man.
It's her nana. Why is nobody paying attention?
Stop saying that.
Go, man. She was in power from before there was even internet.
Exactly. I'm screaming.
Yeah, so now we can email her. Like,
I don't know what he's... I'm sorry, but I'm not.
You lot are crazy.
Who's paying for that security? Tax paying me? No.
Yeah,
let her go, man.
Like, she gets... So it's interesting. So what happened like in like the 1700s?
I'm not participating.
In like the 1700s of that. Before
gonna get us out here.
Wait, are we gonna pretend on this that we care about the monarchy on this platform?
I definitely don't.
I don't know.
Saying,
I've just said that's his nana. That's what.
Like in the 1700s, like before, like I watched like a lot of period dramas and like history. Like before, like the king really
was kinging,
fam. He really ran things. So and obviously as they owned a lot of land in it. So like in like the 1700s, I can't remember what king it was, but one of them, man, they were like in a lot of debt. So
Henry VIII.
No, it wasn't him. He was too
That's
busy.
the only one that black people always know.
Yeah.
Henry VIII.
Because he was the littest one, do you know what I mean?
Your 7 knowledge.
Yeah.
Why was he the latest one?
Because he had 8 wives.
Man.
Do you know the conversation we just... Listen.
You know what? You're asking for it.
You're good for it.
Let me finish. Because
can we get an edit on the executive decision?
No, because he had the most controversy. He had the most controversy. Like horrible history. Everybody remember Henry VIII.
Your sources are hilarious. Man said dramas and horrible shit.
No, let go.
On Netflix.
So in the 1700s, one of the kings, so he traded, I think, I can't remember what it's called, like, it begins with L. He traded, like how they have power over everything.
Yeah.
So they're still the monarchy, but they still get bread.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like they get money from, so I think what it is like they get 15% of the profits from like the royal lands. And that works out to about like 85. So like I think in 2020 or 1 years, the Queen got like 85 million.
Stop it.
But she has to split it, right?
Yeah, so she has to patent everything. So the security detail, like bills, everything. So they get a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? They get a lot of money from the taxpayers.
That's mad. And we're doing inflation, high price and all that mess.
Yeah, 85 M's.
Back in the long time ago days, I suppose it was necessary.
Back in the long time ago days, I love that.
Yeah, I
the long time ago days.
Yeah, I suppose it was like necessary for like morale and that. But the monarchy is just we don't need it.
I think it's dying out.
It just died, and then once she dies, who you gonna what? King who? What? Charles?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Then
I ain't calling no grown man king unless he's my brethren. Real talk.
What's going on, King?
Yeah, what's good? Yeah, I think it's a bit weird. I think Harry, if you're really concerned, babes, give us the tea. Why are you concerned? Let us in.
Let the TDA
take us there.
All right, and then onto another queen, indirectly, Rihanna. So A$AP Rocky was arrested and detained due to allegedly shooting someone in 2021. So what happened for that year?
That was a year of COVID, so he had no business doing all of that.
What do you mean? What happened in that time period?
Like, if he shot someone in 2021,
investigation.
That was last year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but it was November, I think. They started investigating it, so it wasn't too far away.
Okay, cool.
6 months ago.
So A$AP Rocky and Rihanna were recently in the news over fake allegations, real fake news of them splitting up over cheating allegations. They are back together. However, A$AP Rocky...
They never broke up.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know what I mean? Yeah. They love each other. Everyone's still jealous. It's calm. And A$AP, on his return, he was detained on Wednesday morning on suspicion.
That's embarrassing.
On suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon in connection with an incident in last November, in which LA police said he shot a person in Hollywood. I don't think of ASAP Rocky. Shot at a person.
Yeah. God, please don't tell me you don't think of ASAP Rocky as shooting somebody. Because he got arrested in Sweden for doing fight.
For what?
Remember when he got arrested in Sweden when he was fighting?
Yeah. And then everybody
that
was defending him. Okay, cool. Following the arrest, Los Angeles police detectives searched a home belonging to the rapper, seeking evidence in connection to the case. According to the law enforcement services, detectives have had the artist under surveillance for some time and tracked his return back to Barbados.
So they've been watching him, yeah?
And then they got a flight to Barbados.
Yeah, they had enough of Rihanna's outfits.
Oh, so they got him.
Shut up.
They said, let's take him now.
Don't you like her outfits?
Huh?
Don't you like Rihanna's outfits?
I told you, Rihanna's changed pregnancy
forever.
But the problem is, like, not everybody's Rihanna.
Hello.
So now there's normal man in the streets in the estates got to put up with their gal walking around like Rihanna with their big belly out the door and crop tops and all that, like some idiot. And it's just, I just feel sorry for these man. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be Mark's friend.
But I appreciate. I like that she's owning it. She's living like she's doing pregnancy different. She's changed it. You don't have to cover up and all that. I respect it. Womanhood.
Might be a bit of pressure though.
No, there's categories for that.
I think she's.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know her personally.
Why did you wow for it? It went over their head. Just leave them, bro.
No, we heard. You said we're going to just carry on.
Oh, porn categories. Oh, am I?
No, definitely jump.
That's exactly it.
Thank you.
I thought you meant something else.
Thank you, Brent, for not leaving me on a ledge.
I thought you meant something else. What I was thinking was worse. That's why I was like, no, you jumped. Okay, that's good though.
Okay, just so we know, the surveillance they had ASAP Rocky under surveillance and tracked him back from Barbados. Thank you, producer.
That's embarrassing. You can't even have a nap after you fly.
So do you want to hear the allegation in black and white?
Let's go.
Okay, cool. So it stems from November the 6th, 2021. An incident happened in which there was an argument between these two acquaintances in the Hollywood area around 10:15 p.m. Wow, details. The argument escalated, resulting in one person firing a handgun at the other. According to the law enforcement, the victim sustained a minor injury and later sought medical attention. The shooter was identified as being ASAP Rocky.
And he done that in November and he was allowed to be out there and get a whole Rihanna pregnant.
No, he would have been pregnant. Actually, we don't know when she's
his prayer.
Yeah, it would have been before that. Actually,
yeah.
The rapper was released on $550,000 bond Wednesday afternoon. Booking record show. You know,
he's so big. How can it take it like 5-6 months to arrest him if someone got shot? I don't understand.
Maybe gathering evidence and stuff. I do want to say though, the investigations on this case need to jump on the Tory and Meghan so we can conclude that as well.
Okay,
this is very quick.
This
is very quick.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I
swear to God, I knew you were gonna say that.
This is very quick.
Do you know what it is? Joe Biden because he's very much putting doubts in everyone's mind about it. Because he was like, I don't know about
what Meghan and Tory.
Yeah, he's like, yo, why is it taking so long? Like, why it shouldn't take this long. So he's now. It seems like he doubts Meghan's story.
Get PC Plum on it, and we'll be here talking about it by Monday.
Who's PC Plum? Oh, the
officer. Get a detective. Anybody. Just get someone on the case. And let's do it. But it's sad. I saw and that's why in social media, people are quick to do memes. Because I woke up this morning and I'm seeing people saying, oh, Rihanna really said she wanted to be like us and have a baby father. I have a baby father. What are you guys talking about? Then I clocked he was arrested and he might not be around for the baby. And all that
Rihanna's
stuff.
a billionaire. She gonna be all right. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, the child should have.
Yeah,
the child should have their father in their life, but
she can buy a new father.
Oh my
God,
goodness!
dear.
And just like that, the show is. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And I'm excited. It's Word on Road.
Okay. Today I'm catering to the needs of my Real Housewives lovers. Our good sis. So, Real Housewives of Potomac, one of the ladies on there is Ashley Darby. And our good sis is finally broken free.
Is she getting half?
She's filed. Yes, I'm going to give you the tea. So, she's filed for divorce from Michael Darby. They've been married for 8 years. They got married 2 years before they came on the show.
Yeah.
So, for context, she's mixed race. He's white Australian, right? Mm-hmm. Also, he's significantly older than her. And he looks older than her. So it's not as if like, no shade, but it's not as if like, you know, you look at him and you think, oh, there might be, no. Like, so there was that whole conversation about, oh, like, whatever. So anyways, he has put her through so much. Like, we've seen so much of their lives on the show. Their business, they couldn't agree with business plans and all that kind of stuff. Prenup issues, infidelity.
Who cheated?
The man, her husband.
He's paying for that right though, surely, no?
No, he's not. I will tell you, it gets worse. So he allegedly as well, and one of the other cast members as well, he kind of touched her boyfriend's bum, something like that. One of the camera crew as well, he allegedly groped him. So he's had a lot of scandals within that marriage. And
so they think he might be bisexual.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but
I've never seen these people before, and I'm looking at them now. And if she married this man,
it was for the prenup.
She's not allowed to complain about nothing that he does.
She didn't. She didn't. She said, "That's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him."
Cool.
She's stuck beside him.
She had a long-term
literally, because all the women will like cuss her about it, blah blah. And she was like, "That's my husband," blah blah. Even like to the point where she would go on a trip, he was late to get the babysitter off her shift because he was cheating. And then the picture of that came up on TM. Like, it's just a whole mess. So anyways,
who was he cheating with? What kind of women was he cheating with, or was it just anyone?
Anyone. Really, I don't think he really cared. He just wanted to get his. But yeah, so basically her prenup, the initial prenup was that they had to be married for a certain amount of time before she could get anything, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the last cheating happened, he said that, do you know what, I want to know that you're really here for me yet again. So let's say that if we stick this out 5 years, like we do a 5 years total, another 5 years of this marriage, then you get half. And she was like, I think he said a certain sum first. And she said, listen, I've gone through the mud with your mess. So if I'm going to be here, I don't mind signing because I love you and I want to be here, blah, blah, but I'm going to get half. They said, yeah, they signed it. Guess what? She's filed for divorce. By the time the divorce is finished, this is the year of the 8 years.
Oh,
so
my
sis has secured the bag and I'm so proud of her.
What makes a man do that though? Like, what makes a man wake up and change his prenup mid-marriage? Like,
because he wanted
to put a timer on it.
Because apparently, like, I feel like they kind of had an open marriage as well. But you know, with reality TV, you never really know. There's kind of speculations about that.
Okay.
But I guess he just wanted to know that she was really there and not just sticking it out because of the money. Because he's rich, like he's Australian, like he's really known. Like,
are we doing prenups, guys?
It depends who's got. If I've got the money,
you know where this show is going, guys. So we're doing prenups. You're not doing a prenup. That's a good man. God bless you.
That's good.
I ain't getting married, so I'll be fine.
Oh, dear.
But it's like, y'all stay safe.
Always one.
Y'all stay safe.
There was going to be one.
Yeah, I'll be cool, man.
But yeah, so she's getting divorced, so it should be interesting. Annoyingly, it's not going to be on the upcoming season, I don't think, because she mentioned it at the wrapping up party. So I reckon that's, in a way as well, that's kind of her way of securing a spot for the next season because this is massive. Like, we have to talk about it in the Real Housewives world. Still talking about relationships, allegedly, Will Smith and Jada are on the verge of a divorce.
Oh,
Black
free.
men have pressured him.
He's free.
In fact, the whole world.
He's free.
But he's going to be the one more upset by it. I think she's free, more like.
She's been free.
That's true. That's the point. That's the point.
Well, what's she not free?
They were both free.
That's the point.
I just want to say.
But allegedly, they've been having issues and all that kind of stuff beforehand anyway. And the Slapgate kind of made it added a bit more tension to it.
Remember when they said bad marriage for life?
That was embarrassing.
What word of affirmation is this one?
They've done a lot of embarrassing things in their time. But the thing is that with them, like,
aren't marriages just messed? I don't know.
Not like theirs. Not like this. But I think with them though, because it's always kind of, we hear these kind of rumors essentially about their marriage and it ends up being true. Because the open marriage stuff, we've heard that for years. And we had the whole entanglement situation. So with the divorce stuff, I just think that's very interesting. Especially after the slap when he was defending her honor.
I think she brought something out saying that it seems like she was saying that they will deal with the whole Slapgate on their red table, but right now the red table's going to rest a little bit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I can't lie. I think they should have dealt with the Slapgate on red table and then he should have rested.
But what would I have done?
What do you mean? Like, just give. I don't care about what he does for the man. I want to know the tea. Were you happy when he went up there? Like, what did you say to him that made him go up there? Did you really say Tupac would have had this? Like, sis, I want to know the important things.
If I was their PR manager, I would say, Jada, okay, this is the time now to just like Will. Like, just like him. Like, if he says that he went up for your honor and be like, I felt honored. Just say that line, Jada, and then sit back. Just because if she said no one asked you to do that,
allegedly though, that's the kind of conversations that's happening where it's just like,
yeah,
you have to do all of that.
But I think I saw something, but you know, a lot of people lie on Jada.
That's the thing. They do.
People lie on Jada. So people say stuff like, "Oh, she recently said it was a big show of his ego, him going up on that stage and slapping." But I don't think she actually said that because I couldn't find the original source. Yeah. So yeah, man,
we'll see. I'm definitely gonna stay tuned for the tea.
Yeah.
And then good old AfroNation, back in the news, off Twitter this time. But you know there was an AfroNation Puerto Rico in March, I believe.
Okay.
There was or there is?
There was. It's happened already.
Or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the dancers actually this time is not the consumers of the. It's not the consumers that's complaining about AfroNation. It's actually the people who are involved with AfroNation in a way. So the dancers, the American dancers, are the ones complaining and speaking about the conditions in which they had to work, and basically it's just very, very poor conditions, and yeah, they weren't treated fairly and that kind of stuff. And it's quite sad. I think it's one thing when British UK Black Twitter are going at Smade for not getting refunds and stuff. But I think it's different when it then crosses over on that side, because this really could have been, like, AfroNation was such a revolutionary thing that it really could have been.
It was so fun.
Different.
That first one was so fun. You went to the one in Ghana, Disu, right?
Yeah, that was an absolute sham.
Yeah,
it was a sham. First day
I heard it was amazing.
No, not the one in Ghana.
Portugal was amazing.
Portugal.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Portugal was amazing.
The Ghana was a mess.
Ghana was a mess. Like, I literally took off my wristband and cut, like, after I was there for like an hour.
Man just went Ghana.
But that was a plan though. But my friends, they said, we got AfroNation. Okay, cool. Actually, AfroNation looked lit in Portugal.
It was amazing.
So, but it was absolute.
You was there as well?
Of course I was there. It was my birthday weekend. I lived.
Oh,
yeah,
that was amazing.
It was amazing.
You too?
Yeah. I went after a breakup.
I can't believe you two was there.
No. We had a different experience.
Okay, please tell them.
Because I'll be honest with you, I learned.
Say you had a godly experience, because that's where he's going.
No, I know, of course I did. But you know,
it was necessary.
I learned so much about it, yeah.
About yourself?
No. First of all, relax. I don't like your tone. I don't like your tone. Okay? I learned a lot about other people's experiences. Let me say that quickly.
Yeah.
From Olani's friends. I said, this is how y'all were living. I didn't know this.
I heard people giving, we said everything else. I've heard people were giving head in pools. And do you know what?
On the high street.
Not in...
Yeah, I had a...
No, but I mean, like, on the roads, apparently they were on the road, on the side of the road.
Like,
on the A406.
Be free. But my thing was entirely wholesome, all right?
Mine was so wholesome.
I even was a little bit bored. It was so wholesome.
No, you can't say... No.
I was, man.
No, it was... I can't lie to you. On the 4th day...
in July.
Are you okay? That's not how it goes.
Yeah, I think I might.
You will be having an experience that was on the timeline, so put that out there.
No.
Why are you smiling?
You couldn't even say that. You couldn't even let wholesome come out of your mouth.
Some holes. Man took it backwards. But yeah.
I honestly, I absolutely love. I loved the concept of AfroNation. I was really, really here for it.
Can I say?
I know a lot of people. Sorry.
Can I say an unpopular opinion?
Go on, babe. Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
Not in the middle of my good speech. Go on.
You can do this.
You can do this.
I personally feel like, I don't think AfroNation is going to disappear. I feel like we're going to keep giving it chances until it becomes that first one again. Just because the idea of it and the legend of it is so strong. Like, everyone's heard of it. The only thing that beats it is that when everyone went Nigeria in December.
That's what
that didn't beat it. Do you know what it is? I don't think it will ever be like the first one, because the first one, there was so many conspiracies about it being Fire Festival. Remember, that was the time Fire Festival came out. So there was a lot of, and some girl, her uncle was dreaming dreams.
Yeah.
Talking about, my uncle saw that the world's going to end when you guys get there. Well, girl, I'm back here, okay?
Yeah.
So there was all of that. So the
I might as well be at the beach just in some burner boy.
So the people that went, I see us as the risk takers. We were the visionaries. We went and we supported.
That's why it was mostly women.
And that's what made it so fun.
Not you jumping on my vision.
Yeah, but people going back now, they're going to overcompensate.
Even
people who haven't been before, and it's their first time, they're going to want to overcompensate to try
and it's not going to
slap to the old stories.
Yeah.
And the people who went before, they're going to want to try and do the most to get back the victim.
No, do you know what? I'm more snobby. I'm more snobby that I know that even if I went this summer, I know that it's not going to give. Like, because I know what I really experienced.
Negative manifestation
No, but do you know what shit?
No, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. But as someone who was literally there for the first one, that
just
people
from what
counted
I heard
out
and was seeing on Snapchat,
it was
and stuff,
effortlessly fantastic.
It's impossible. Impossible you recreate.
You can't.
Shall I tell you what's mad though? I think it's only because of the human psyche. Because now we got something to compare it to.
We got our first.
The initial genesis, you didn't have nothing to compare it to. So you have open mind. So
yes, I did.
So you could go on a holiday and you're actually having a blast, but because you have the memory, and obviously memories
or the
are either super favorable or super unfavorable.
Yeah.
You just think of all the greatness it had and you're always comparing to that.
And you know what? That's
you actually might have like an elite time.
But because you didn't have the time that
for example, I went Ghana in 2021.
Yeah.
December just passed here. And we'll talk about like, oh, it did slap like 2019. But it's like, did it not slap like it did in 2019? Or it's because we're comparing it to how much fun? Because that's the first time me and my friends went Ghana. My immediate circle went Ghana. And we didn't expect to have that much fun. Yeah. So we'll go into motors thinking, it's going to be lit. And so I think that's what happens. Even with like, that's why now with music, there's a period from like 2017 to 2020 with music. When the album came out from a highly anticipated artist, I try not to listen to it straight away. Or with movies, because I didn't want to compare it to the reputation it got, because I'm not giving it a fair shot. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I will say that, sorry, go on.
It seems like we're all chasing our first high. Festival-wise.
Yeah, I just think, I definitely agree with that. I think...
What
was that?
Brent.
What did Brent say?
No, because you guys made a reference to cocaine earlier, and you guys were not earlier.
No one said cocaine, Brent.
Earlier on this week. And then you said you kept on chasing that particular first high. So
he's thinking I don't
comparing
I personally think Brent is starting up an empire.
Listen, I feel like he's
the new white. Listen,
not the new white.
Brent's onto something.
They will get you out of here. You'll be seeing what this is here.
Brent's gonna do that. You know, like all the main things are owned. All the different brands are owned by like one brand, really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brent's gonna monopolize it. So when, like the new white, Brent's gonna be like, he's gonna own the new white and the new black.
And the new brown.
And the new brown as well.
The new pills. Brent, I see what you're doing there. I'm ready to be involved, my brother.
Yeah,
honestly.
As long as I'm eating, I'm good.
I'm good. Okay. But I mean, it's such a shame that AfroNation gets a bad sound, but low-key they kind of did this themselves a bit.
Yeah, I think with Afro, I think it's just the communication, because what AfroNation was going through during the COVID times, other festivals were going through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like some festivals were going through even more, like South by Southwest, which is the festival I want to go to one day in America. Tickets could be up to $1,000. Do you know what I mean? And they told me, hey, yo, dog, you ain't getting your bread back. Wow. But I think it's a level but it's a level of the communication, making it clear these in your terms and conditions, and trying to, and your branding, your PR has to show that you actually care and you're actually trying to do what you can, but these are your powers.
Can I add to that?
So wait, the people who they haven't got their money back, but their tickets they'll have to go to the next one.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, but if they don't give you a choice, so most festivals say to you, you can either get your money back, or you basically get a ticket for next. You'd have to do the Hunger Games for the tickets for next year. But they just say you're going to the next one, whether you're free or not, whether you're getting married, whether you're alive or not, you're going to be there. I do think that.
I respect that.
I do think that with AfroNation though as well, it's over familiarity. Because people know, like, Smade is someone, Smade is a people's person. And I think when people know, I really wish that Smade didn't put his face on AfroNation. And I think that the way that people react to it and stuff like that would have been different because they didn't know it was Smade. I feel
that's exactly the difference between AfroNation and Wireless, because you had a figurehead to go to.
Because people, when I tell you, people are releasing his address. Are you sick?
Right.
Where his wife and kids live. Because you want a £100 refund.
TikTok ain't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but it's sad, obviously, that's going on, but everyone that goes this summer, have fun.
Yeah. I think we're all going to be there. You're not down?
I'm there, but I don't want to pay for it. So
that's it. TDA, sponsor
us, and I will be there.
Listen, we
will be there, living it up.
Yeah, come on.
Let's trying to recreate the first one.
Yes.
I'll help you with that.
We were both there. We trusted your vision.
Exactly.
Will it be godly again?
It will be the most godly.
The most godly it's ever been.
In fact, I may even take a Bible this time.
Even the godly haven't done it the way I'm about to do it.
She's going to wear a white garment to the beach.
Get in the budget, man. We'll do the day after every morning from the beach.
Yeah.
Come on. He's being serious.
Why not?
He's being serious. I'm liking this.
Oh, I'm going to be there. So of course I'm being serious. Oh, my word.
And Brent, I heard you in Croatia as well, so you can't say that's not your bag.
Okay.
All right, guys, let's jump into the next segment because I'm having way too much.
My mic isn't working anymore, by the way.
No, of course it's not.
Take it over, Marks.
Oh, is this time?
It's you, babe.
Why does he act surprised every time?
Because you know what's funny? He's looking at the doc.
He's looking at it. He doesn't pay attention. He doesn't read the doc for any other reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But his segment. But all right, be surprised.
Go up, King.
I'll go and sit back for this one.
Honestly.
Oh, man. Who is done out here today? Listen.
Can't fucking stand it.
We can't look past this, man. The elephant in the room. Sorry, but I'm just saying. Listen, the man them who created the community on Twitter the other day.
He set up. He's serious.
Not even set up. Everybody that was in it, everybody that took part of it, you man are done out here. Firstly, I don't even know what communities is. Yeah? I wouldn't even have known that thing existed if it wasn't for you lot. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You are innovating.
New levels of fuckery.
Creating.
Yeah, like, for all the wrong reasons. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? That, and no, you know what? Facts, yeah. You man should be embarrassed, like 100%, because we got to see you, yeah, in like your purest form, bro. Like these are facts. And don't get me wrong, I'm guessing there was a performative nature in there, like, and you thought it was like a safe space, yeah, to be like the clowns that you want to be and all that. But that's the biggest problem right there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That you went and done that and you used it, took your time to create that thing to go and do all types of buffoonery, and then you got caught for it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Master, don't get caught.
What's done in the dark will come to the light. This is what they say. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and for my thing is, everybody in there gets it, because it's like death by association, innit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't argue with idiots, because people tell me from like, you argue with idiot from distance, people can't tell who's who.
Who's mad, yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? All
word.
these things. Also, there's other sayings. I love sayings. There's other sayings.
No, you do, you know.
I do. I got loads of them. I just wheel them off. Show me your friends, and I will show you who you are. So everybody in there is culpable, because you're sitting down there, and it's mad, because when you see the tweets, that one, I know it's not funny, but I was laughing. I'm not gonna lie. A man said this is the safest space on the globe.
Look how mad that is to
Yeah,
me.
and you know why it was so funny, yeah? Because it proper wasn't safe.
I can't fucking stand Mark. I can't stand him.
Bro, it proper wasn't safe. Like, everyone saw it.
That was
Like,
mad. That's so funny.
like-
That is so funny.
Like, it's crazy. Like, everyone saw it. And you man are in there. And it's like what you're saying. Like, these men are foaming at the mouth. Like, literally, like, dripping at the dick to get off all their misogyny, homophobia,
The phobias
everything
were phobias.
in 2022. Now, the truth is, yeah, like, there's no real excuse for it, innit? Like, and we're not here to make excuses for you. Like, you man are done it. You are done. You lot fucked up, and you gotta hold your floggings. And if you can't do anything apart from learn from this, then there is no saving you lot, man. Like, we gotta be better. We gotta be better, because we're all getting in trouble for it. You lot, like I said, you started a conversation, and all men are being judged from you lot's actions. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, and things have been going around online the conversation's been going on for years now. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, black women don't feel protected. And the man them have been in the public moving like, no, we got you. You're our queens. We love you. We want to hold you down. Rah, 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 rah. And then the second they got a peek behind the curtain to see what's really going on,
Fuckery.
it's all abysmal. And it's horrible. And it's fuckeries. And we're all getting tarred with the same brush. And it's not fair, because I'm not like that. Yeah? I'm not like that. I didn't enjoy it. Don't smile, because you know it's true. I am not like that. Okay? I didn't enjoy it. And you men are idiots, man. And you're done out here. And wish you all the best.
Wish you
Good
growth.
luck. Wish you growth.
Wish you growth.
Wish you luck in life, man.
Wish you some sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. But it was a sad story, man. But it happened, man. Like, you get caught. So many people do things behind closed doors, yeah? Like, and I'm not here to pretend, like everybody does whatever they do behind closed doors, yeah? But you see that when it comes into the public eye, when you spill your dirty laundry onto the street, somebody has to pick it up. You have to deal with the consequences of your actions. There's ramifications for the things that you said and for the things that you were done. It's very distasteful. It's very immature. I don't think there was any teenagers in that group. Like, it was all grown men. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you have to look in the mirror, innit? You can't put the tube back in the toothpaste. What's done is done. You got to live with your actions. You got to live with the consequences of your actions. But look in the mirror. Be better, man. Be better.
Can I say that's a very funny saying? You can't put the
he
toothpaste
made
back in
that
the
up.
tube.
Yeah, he definitely-
That was a fully.
Who made that up?
You.
The
You
toothpaste
can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
You can't. Once you squeeze it.
But that's so funny. You came up with that. That's hilarious. I love it.
It's facts though.
I love it. I'm going to start using that.
It's the same thing. We can't cry over spilt milk. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's just, do you get what I'm saying?
It's all the same thing.
Brent said I made it up.
No. You said you can't put the tube back in the toothpaste.
Oh, did I say it the wrong way around?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean that.
That's right.
But you know what I meant though.
That's when you decide to interject.
I know.
Oh, your mic works now. All right.
I'm telling you.
So about this beat.
Now that you can hear and everything.
All right, let's jump into the final segment of the show.
You ain't fucked one thing up since the first show.
Yeah, I mean,
And I really thought you could last week.
no, do you know what it is? Don't
I was
believe in
rooting
other
for you.
people. Don't root for people, man. Just gotta accept them for who they are, man. Gotta accept them
She
for
said,
who they
don't
are.
look at me.
Don't look at me like I owe you something. I gave you a taster. All right, cool.
So jokes.
So guys, that was that show.
Yep.
Yeah.
The show.
It was a show. It was a show, but it's what we say TDA is always going to be about. We're not going
Definitely.
to shy away from anything.
Yep. Even if it's one of us.
Oh, scary.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you everybody for contributing to it. Thanks our guest.
Thank you. No, we finally get to thank our guest.
Yeah.
Thanks our guest.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel alright, innit?
Do you feel like we flogged you? Do you feel like we understood? What do you feel?
No, I thought you lot were very fair. I thought, and I'm not. And the reason I don't feel like mad flogs because I wasn't coming in to be defensive.
Okay, yeah.
Do you get it?
You came in for a conversation.
You were quite open. You were
yeah. So, yeah, like I felt you guys were very fair, balanced, objective, and you brought up a lot of good discussions and topics. And I feel like, at the very least, like we should know the pattern now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is more of a man thing because I don't think this is not for the women in terms of like the next steps.
Yeah.
It's more for the man to hold each other as accountable, even if it's your doggy dog. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some man might have to get let go. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Because if you care, if you're saying you care, if you don't care, boy, that's you, innit?
Yeah.
But for people like me, I care. Like some man might have to get let go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't put me in a situation that's mad.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
To everyone who listened, we appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was a personal one for anyone who was touched by this topic or involved in this topic.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't the easiest thing to listen to all the way through.
Yeah.
I hope you feel heard and seen because that's what we're meant to be about. Like, we get up mad early to do this every day because we want it to mean something.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you think, honestly. Follow us on all social media platforms. Like, comment, share our videos.
Hashtag.
That's all things.
Yeah, what you think?
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The entire month we'll be giving you the full visuals on YouTube. At the top of next month, we'll be streaming live on Patreon. Hella perks and community building over there. So if you want to be a part of that, let us know. And for those who want to inquire about being on the show or wish to feature on the show, and there's so many ways that you can, email the team at THEDAYAFTER at thenewblack.com. Black is spelled BLXCK.
I hope you heard that, Smade.
And also, Prince Harry, because I know you know something.
Oh, you know?
I know you know something.
Bring the tea over here.
But yeah,
you do Word on Road.
But yeah, that's it. Good to see you guys again. Oh, do you want to introduce yourselves or are you guys good? People know you by now.
You know
what we're doing?
You know.
Yeah,
we're done.
6 foot, Shade Queen, safe space. Disu.